Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final round of the 4NCL Hull GM Norm and Open International events. And we've got a very exciting situation. Now, we were expecting... Hi, John. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you, Natasha.
Excellent. We were expecting to be commentating the start of round 9, but actually, you know what's happened? Round 8 is still in progress. So we're gonna just look at the end of round 8, and it's still in progress because we've got this monumental rook and pawn ending in the game of Gediminas Sarakauskas and Marcus Harvey. And I believe we actually also have one other game going on as well, which is the game I'm just going to show here. The game Jonah Willow against Matthew Turner. I know that one must have ended. That one must have ended. They were only on 39 moves. But this other one is in progress. So let's have a look at this one first. Okay, so what we've got is we've got rook and 1 against rook and 2. And I believe that means that table base will solve this all for us, John. But what's your initial impression?
Well, it is 7 pieces. It's obviously a draw, this position anyway, I think. I don't see how it's not going to be a draw because I don't see what he's doing. Basically, in order to win, you'd have to swap have to get your king across and then be able to swap. And there is no way you can do that, as far as I can see. But I will verify that. I'm just looking on the table base on my...
I'm noticing the move time is 15 minutes. So maybe it is that it has finished, but it just doesn't show yet.
I think that's quite likely. I would think so. Yeah, it's drawn. I mean, White can play some moves that lose, but he can't play any winning moves.
Yeah. Now, of course, Marcus Harvey was going to be trying extremely hard for this one to win if it were possible, because that would help for his attempt at a GM norm here.
Yeah,
it really looks like it's not possible in this position.
It looks completely impossible for me.
Yes.
I mean, basically, once the White king gets to f3, the game is over. No, he's going to agree to draw in this position, I think you'll find.
Okay. So
I mean, I don't see... I mean, you look at it very sadly, but you know bloody well it's drawn.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So let's see if... right, what has started is round 5 of the Open. So what I suggest is we switch across to the Open, because I think round 9 here hasn't started yet. So what I'm gonna do is switch across to the Open, and then we can watch a bit of that one first of all.
Okay, I can stick that on for a minute. I'll stick that on in my... because there are quite a lot of games, aren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've just switched across to there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't believe that game's still continuing.
No, okay, I think it's finished too. So shall we see? Let's start with John Merriman and Peter Wells.
Right. And they're playing at this moment, are they, allegedly? Yes, they
Here we go. Yeah, this is the position.
Right.
So let's just get the move. It was right near the start, actually.
Well, it's some sort of Queen's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah, so let's just do it from the start. So d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4.
So it's a Queen's
Nimzo.
Nimzo, sorry. Yeah.
E3.
b6 he played, didn't he?
Castles, and he did do, yeah. Knight e2, queen e8. So knight e2, is that
it's a move they play sometimes. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can try a3. Now, if bishop f8, you can try d5 maybe. I guess he probably did.
Yeah, so yeah, D5? Peter did do bishop and then knight g3 and d5.
Yeah, I mean, you can try d5 as white in this position rather than knight g3. I mean, that's a bit more taxing, I would say. The knight's fairly stupid on g3, really. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And I don't believe this position is particularly scary for black.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go d5 instead of knight g3, at least you can try to play that position.
So let's see. So if we put that here.
Yeah.
So this one.
I don't know if that's it. May not be. It's more in the B6 type positions you do this, but at least you can try to do this too. You've got a plan at least here of getting some space.
Yeah. What, following up with
G3 and bishop G2 probably.
Yeah.
And just trying to get castled, and I mean, it's not very fantastic, but at least you have some space. Whereas after knight G3, D5, okay, B4 makes sense. But I mean, D5, B4, you can probably, I don't know if you can play B6 in this position and just get in C5. Because you see the knight on G3 is not actually a very good square. If C5, B5 will be good for black, because the rook isn't protected. It'll certainly be all right, I think. Maybe you can go C5, B5, bishop B2. So if you're worried about that, you can. There are a couple of other things you can do. It's just the knight on G3 doesn't defend D4, which means that you have more reason to play for C5.
Oh, right, yeah,
Because if you get an isolated queen's pawn or something, then you don't actually care very much about having an IQP.
Yeah, and the knight's on the wrong square for that, isn't it?
Yeah, the knight's not really doing them very much about that. So that's possible. I don't know if C5 is a good move in this position, though. You could have gone
C5 for white here.
Yeah. I mean, there is E5 now, if you want to try to break it up, which is not so great because the rook, or maybe A5, probably not A5, bishop B2, I don't know. But I'm not terribly impressed by this for white. Maybe it's a theoretical position, actually, but it just looks...
Not kind of one that appeals to you.
Not one that I particularly want to aim for. No, I don't think. I mean, it's not bad, of course.
Yeah.
But has Peter played after B4?
No. Shall we whiz through some of the other games as well?
You see, also the bishop's got back to F8 in one move, which is nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because he did it early rook E8 to allow that rook E8 on move 5.
Exactly. Yes, he did that precisely to allow that.
Yeah.
And you just, I just don't believe it's terribly scary.
Yeah. Okay. So Peter's not scared, we think, against Jon.
So far. So.
Not so far. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, let's look at board 1, actually. So here we go. Now this one. Oh, it's Freddie Gordon. Cool. Okay. And they've played an awful lot of moves, actually.
They have, haven't they?
Have you commentated on Freddie Gordon before, Jon?
I haven't, no.
He's a very young Scottish player, doing really well.
I think you told me about him before.
I told you about him. Yeah. Okay. So now's your chance to see him in action against Grandmaster Johann Sebastian Christiansen,
who's quite decent, isn't he?
25.76.
Yeah.
Okay. French defense.
Yeah.
E5, C5,
C5, C3.
Oop, sorry. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, you jumped somehow.
I did, but actually it doesn't even say C3 anymore. It now has knight C3 as the move. Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, so we've got a completely different opening. Yeah, this is playable-ish. It's not a great way to play. You can go knight F6, E5, knight D7, D4, C5 is very okay for black. Because white's blocked the F pawn. I mean, it cuts out all the stuff with D4, E5, and F4, which is, in the normal position, if you play knight F6, E5, knight FD7, white plays F4, and you have to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
In this position, there are some amusing things that can happen. One thing that can happen is that, how do you do this? I'm trying to remember. I know. Yeah, I know. There's a line that goes D4 knight E2. position. Black
instead of knight c3.
No, after knight c3, you can play d4 if you want to as black.
Right. Yeah.
d4, knight e2. Yes, it's a possible line. c5.
Right, it's going to ask me about data consenting because I'm only logged on one of these windows. You see.
Is it going to ask you every time you?
It's going to ask me every time, but not when we get to the Grandmaster one.
Because you are logged on to that.
I'm logged on that one.
Excellent. c3.
c3.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to be after the 20, isn't it? Very soon. Knight f6. I think we're going to have to get to a different tournament for our sanity. Yeah. Pawn takes pawn.
Steve Chessweb is asking, has the game completed? Sarakauskas against Harvey. We think it must have, because it was showing a move time of over 15 minutes for Marcus.
No, he's not going to think a long time.
We think it must have finished.
I think it must have finished.
But we can't see that on Chess24 or any of their websites. Yeah. So what, D3 did you say?
C takes D4.
Yeah.
Knight takes E4.
I think I can probably get if I get an analysis board up, that won't keep asking me.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Open game and analysis.
Computers are nothing if not annoying, aren't they, once they get a little thought into their little heads.
Now, do you see this analysis board now?
I can't see all of it. I can't see the bottom 3 ranks. I can now.
Yeah, okay. So let's try this now. So this should be better.
Oh yes, you're being allowed. You're being allowed. Well, that's what happened. Knight f6. I was just showing you a line. Doesn't matter. The line I was going to show you isn't that remarkable.
But I can actually now do your line if you like.
If you like, yes. So d4 instead of knight f6.
Instead of knight f6, so we're going to go
d4, knight e2, c5, c3, knight f6. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, knight c3. And now there is an amusing move, knight g5 in this position.
Ooh, knight g5.
Not a fantastic move. The idea is that if you take c5, then I play queen e5 check and I get control of d4, which you shouldn't do as white. Because now I play queen e5 check. And I magically, I can still take queens. I magically get control of d4.
Yeah.
And I have rather a good position.
Yeah.
I mean, not a fantastic position, but it's amusing that I've stopped you from playing d4. I've known that since I was about 10 or so, I don't know.
Okay.
It's not entirely sound either, I don't think, actually, for black. I think when I showed it to a modern engine, it went ping in some unfortunate way. Anyway. Can you return to the game, or was that?
Yep. Yeah. I can do anything now.
Fantastic.
E5, knight f7, and
D4. If you go knight e4, you play knight e2. Probably.
Oh, okay. That's a bit like
bishop c5, d4, bishop e7, maybe knight g1 if you want to play f3.
Knight back to g1. That would feel strange to play it.
Well, then after knight e4.
Yeah.
Knight e2, bishop c5 against d3, d4, bishop e7.
Like this.
Yeah, you can maybe play knight g1 here. You're threatening to win a horse. No, t'other knight, of course. So you want to play f3.
Oh, we're doing f3, okay.
The whole point is to play f3. Doesn't like it for some reason.
It doesn't like it. It doesn't feel like you'd want to do this, but maybe.
No, it depends if you can sacrifice a piece as well, actually.
Yeah.
It's b5 or something, but it's possible. It's a way you can play. I mean, because you don't particularly want to leave that horse on e4, probably.
Yeah.
Or you can maybe go knight e4, bishop d3 as well. Anyway, lots of interesting little things that could happen. I think this is, yeah. So he's got knight
f6. Chose a different line. He chose to drop his knight back this way.
Yeah, d4.
Freddie played d4.
c5.
e5.
dc5.
X.
Knight c6.
Knight c6.
Bishop f4. then you've got either a6 or bishop c5 at the moves. Knight c5 is slightly odd. A6 you sometimes play.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't particularly like knight c5. I mean, bishop c5 is Spassky Petrosian from 1,000 years ago, or 19, either 63 or 67. I can't remember which match it was.
Well, probably Christiansen was saying, well, let's go into a really, really old game because Freddie's too young to know it.
Yeah, I mean, a6 is also a reasonable move. And then if you go bishop d3, then I can play knight c5 and I can get that bishop. Maybe you can play, yeah, it's possible. I mean, you can maybe play knight a4, actually, as a reasonable move.
So knight a5 here?
No, knight a4. On the grounds that when he takes on c5, I take and I play bishop d3.
Okay, so knight a4 instead of...
Yeah, it's possible here. I don't know if it's a good move or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if queen c7 is... But I mean, it's just sort of interesting. There are lots of things you can try to do. Because now knight c5 takes bishop d3. You've got more or less what you want as white. This is... If they castle, you have to decide whether you can play bishop h7 check or not. I don't know.
Well, straight away, maybe. Well, if you can, it's a bit of a miniature, isn't it? Takes.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. You haven't got very many boys.
Oh, it likes it for white.
Yeah, okay. So it was a question of whether after king g6 there was some, perhaps king g6 h4 wins or something. You never quite know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if king g8, you get checkmated up the tree after queen h5.
Yeah. King g8, queen h5, and king g6, what, queen g4?
Oh, either queen g4 or maybe h4 or queen d3 check.
Oh, queen d3 check, okay.
Also h4 to play h5 is good, but queen d3 check followed by h4, you're going to tee up to play f5 is forced. h4, well, king h6, you just take the queen.
Yeah.
King h5, you mate in probably 4 more moves or something, I'm guessing.
With h4?
Well, no, probably with queen h7 check, king g4, something to, something to really, something like g3 was now going to mate fairly, very quickly. Just protect your pieces and then
deliver mate.
H3 mate or
Queen h3 mate or h3 mate.
Queen h3 mate as well. Yeah, there are a million different mates in one. You can try bishop f2, but it doesn't help. So this is probably about mate in 6 or something. Maybe queen g5 stops mate for the moment.
But it does lose a queen.
It does lose a queen, but I mean, you know, you makes your choice really, don't you? Queen g5 might not be so terrible. Obviously, it's lost. Yeah, okay. But I'm just.
Well, black should avoid this.
Actually, by the way, there wasn't queen h3 and queen g3 because the king gets back to f5. You have to be careful when you do things like this that you don't let them run away again.
Yes,
you
indeed.
look very, very stupid if they do.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you don't need to look very, very stupid. And probably, actually, after king h5, g4 was forced mate, actually. If we go back, when I played queen h7.
But queen h7 was forced mate as well.
No, but g4 forces mate in 3 moves.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it doesn't, because king can go to bloody f5, can't it, again, and run away.
Yeah, because the bishop's not defended in this one. Yeah.
I keep on forgetting he can run
but this
away.
was good enough. This was good enough, Jon.
Of course it's good enough. Yes, nobody's saying it isn't. I'm just amusing myself finding the best ways to do it.
Okay.
I find it amusing.
Okay.
Right.
So we reckon that's possible. So
well, you just don't castle.
7 check already.
You don't castle as black. I mean, black.
No, you don't.
Black is an experienced grandmaster, and people do know about Greek gifts.
They know all about it. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
He was still. Yeah, I think he was thinking for a couple of minutes each move by now. So he may be.
So he played knight c5, and what happened?
Yeah, and then a3 from Freddie.
Perfectly reasonable move.
Bishop e7, bishop e2, developing pieces, castles. So he has castle now, but not when any kind of great gift is on.
No, so castle as well. Queen d2 played.
Queen d2 and f5.
Yeah, not sure how good that is. threatens to put a knight in e4, so I guess you're going to have to take en passant, are you?
Yeah, he did. Freddie took en passant.
Bishop takes.
Bishop takes.
And that doesn't quite threaten bishop c3 and rook takes because queen c5 doesn't, but black's very active now. There's knight e4 now. It looks a bit like white's in danger of being worse now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any development at this point. What happened next?
I think that it might actually be, that's all I've got on this one here on the analysis board. So I'm just gonna go back to live. But I think that might be as far as we've got on this game.
I don't like white's position because he doesn't control enough squares.
This middle bit here, right?
Well, there's knight e4 happening, there's d4 happening, there's e5 maybe happening. There are many, many bad things that can happen. d4 is quite possible, followed by e5 or something. I mean, I know, white will try to get some tactics or something. White would like to play a move like castles long, really, but it's obviously going to be terribly dangerous. I mean,
yeah,
there are lots of questions. I mean, is d4 a good move? d4, if knight b5, e5.
Because we've got a pawn structure where white's got like the c pawn and the f pawn back on the starting squares, and black's got these two central pawns that aren't kind of opposed in the center at all.
Yeah, it just depends. If you can control e5 as white, you're doing well. But he ain't anywhere near controlling e5 in this position. And,
yeah, because he can't play something like knight e5 because there's just like that knight and that bishop.
Yeah, so you can't do that. So I would say and you can't play bishop b3 because of d4. It causes a major incident. Well, it finishes the game, actually.
Bishop
so
b3.
I don't really see what he's going to play. I think he's done. Queen d2 is probably not a very good idea at all. But bishop should really have gone to d3 because you can go knight takes bishop, pawn takes knight, and then try to put a knight in d4. That's perfectly respectable.
Okay, so you don't mind too much actually if black swaps.
Well, I mean, you like having your bishop. It's a very pretty piece, but actually, if you go back 2 moves or something, don't have to play a3 either.
I get rid of all my arrows now. There we go. Oh no, they've come back. Okay.
All your arrows, yeah.
I got too many now.
I mean, you can maybe try bishop g5, but probably d4 actually is going to be close to catastrophe total immediately.
Yeah.
He's quite like to lose in sort of 5 more moves, really, I'm afraid. The whole position. Probably shouldn't have taken en passant, I'm guessing, but I mean, it's not. Then you'd have to allow knight e4, which wouldn't be great. Say after f5 you'd played. Could you have played h4 in that position, maybe?
Let's see. So h.
Then he goes knight e4, queen d3, queen b6. I have to castle and allow queen b2. And the game might continue, might not. I don't know. So I wanted to go h4 here.
You did, but I was just struggling to actually do that for you. I think I might just arrows. I can do arrows.
Yeah, okay. Well, why can't you play h4? Because you're not.
I don't know. It's not letting me. Oh, there we go.
So knight e4, I assume. So actually maybe d4 and then knight e4. That's not. So I wanted to go queen d3 now. And he can go queen b6 and take a b pawn. I can't stop him. I'm just going to castle kingside now. That's all right. If he takes a b pawn, I was hoping I could play knight takes d5 in an outstandingly good day. Maybe knight b5 traps the queen, actually. Yeah, okay. It just doesn't like that. Maybe knight b5 traps the queen or something.
Knight b5?
Yeah, knight b5 traps the queen, actually, perhaps. Or knight a4 traps the queen. Sorry, I'm being very stupid. Ping. Sorry, I'm being really stupid. I thought with that knight and e4, nothing bad would happen, but no, something very bad has happened.
It's happened.
It has. So probably, I don't know if he goes bishop c5 or something instead of queen b2. I mean, it's, the knight and e4 is enormous, but the game, does it like bishop c5 here? Probably does, doesn't it, actually? That probably causes quite a major incident.
Yeah.
Or does it have some stronger move that it thinks wins the game? Seems to have something it really doesn't like.
I could turn off this.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just saying this position. The problem is if you get behind in development as white, you're going to get splatted. And he's wasted. He's played a3, which isn't an unreasonable move, but not a great move. Bishop b2 and queen d2, by which time, if black gets in f6 and what's happened, then black has the advantage very quickly, you know, because black controls all the big squares in the position.
Yeah.
As I presume he's working out now. I mean, he probably starts thinking, well, I must have some decent-ish move. And then as he works through them, he discovers that they're all pretty rotten.
Right. Let's just check if no, it looks like the Grandmaster tournament has now restarted. So I'm going to switch across.
So it would be nice if we can use the boards without major consent issues.
Yeah. Okay. Marcus Harvey, that's the one, isn't it?
That game did finish, yeah?
Yes. So that's now showing as a half. So what we're going to do is move on. Actually, have I updated my screen for you? No. That one there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just show...
I'm going to stick all 5 games on my screen just so I have it there if it starts, so I can look quickly.
Okay. I want to start with Shreyas. And the reason I want to start with Shreyas is, by my counting, he's on 4 and he needs 5 for a norm, for an IM norm.
And he's got a Queen's Gambit accepted, which is perhaps slightly better for white, but nothing very special. Perfectly playable position anyway. Probably a bit better for white, I'd say.
Let's start from the start.
Yeah, I'm just looking on. I'm looking at all 5 games on my screen just to see.
Yeah.
So
what you can see here: d4, d5, c4.
Wait a minute, I'll go back to you.
e6. So Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
Knight f3, and then Gabor Nagy takes the pawn.
Yeah. So he's played e6, which is slightly, you get the normal sort of Queen's Gambit accepted type of position.
Yeah. So in Shreyas recapture. So it's
yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, not gambited, if you see what I mean.
No. Sorry, what was Shreyas' last move? It must have been, when did he play d takes c4 after, I'll move about 3, did he?
Shreyas is playing white here. So
yeah, I know, but when did his opponent play d takes c4?
Move 3.
Yeah, okay. So this is just a Queen's Gambit accepted.
Yep.
It's a normal position.
Yeah. Knight d7, b3.
Yeah.
c5, bishop b2.
So what has happened is that black is committed to playing knight bd7 here, when sometimes in these lines you play knight c6. So b5, bishop b2, I assume.
Yep.
Bishop b7, and he must have gone a4, did he? Yeah.
a4, yes.
And the thing is, I mean, as black, you'd like to keep your queenside pawn structure, but you can't, so it's tough. So you can play b4, but that gives white a c4 square.
That c4 square looks really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes a black knight can go to c3 as well. You have to... But anyway, he just took, which is perfect.
Yeah, he took on a4, rook takes.
And he'll go something like bishop e7.
He did exactly bishop e7.
Probably knight bd2.
He did, and so that's looking at going in on that c4 square.
c4 to a5 is possible. But I mean, the thing is, black controls lots of squares, so he can play bishop d5 sometimes. And probably black will castle, yeah?
Black did castle.
No, is he going to go?
And this is where they're at. So this is the position. And so, Shreyas, I was saying he's England's, at the moment, England's youngest FIDE master. And he's been, for a while, on the brink of getting IM norms. And then in September, he didn't just get 1 IM norm, but he got 2 IM norms. So he's actually already on 2 IM norms.
That's very impressive, isn't it?
His rating's high enough, and we're only in October now. So it could be that within a period of like 2 months, no more, he's gone from like just getting FIDE master to being full IM. So
well,
really
kids do
so let's hope. Let's hope.
So well, I'm looking at Queen A1.
Ah, that's interesting. Yes, because then that's attacking.
It is.
Should I put it
And
in?
what I'm
It's
looking at is c
attacking
takes
this
d4.
A pawn and also on this diagonal.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at c takes d4.
Yep.
And bishop takes d4. If knight takes d4, there's knight c5. Then I wanted to try to play e5 in that position. After bishop
Right.
takes
So
d4.
here.
Knight c5. The knight's quite good in c5. It's probably okay for black.
Yeah.
I guess. Also, you might have, if he's not careful, if you go rook a5, you'd have e5 and knight b3. So I'm not impressed by that. I mean, now probably black's winning, actually, already.
Oh, this is looking good for white, though, according to the computer.
Well, knight b... Oh, sorry, the knight is still...
This is the other knight. Oh, sorry, but you don't go back to there. Maybe you go into f5, obviously.
Oh, you go to f5, do you? Because
yeah.
Queen takes knight is not working. Okay, knight
because then you go knight e7, don't you? And
yeah. Okay, I mean, maybe in this position you have to play something quieter. But I mean, also, I was looking at bishop takes e5, I was trying to work out. Bishop takes d4, which sort of prepares to play knight c5 to take it, which would be reasonable. Okay, e5, knight f5 is a catastrophe. I'm having a slight brain.
Yeah.
But I was thinking bishop takes as well.
Oh, instead of
knight takes, yeah. You certainly don't.
We had here. So bishop takes d4.
And then I was looking at e5 as a move. And if knight e5, bishop e5, queen d2 wins.
Yeah, you can't do this.
You can't do this, no.
You've left a piece.
Unless something very clever can be done at this point, which it can't. The queen the queen has far too many squares. So that ain't possible. But you can maybe go bishop e5, knight e5, queen e5. And I was trying to decide if black in that position had compensation for a pawn or not.
Yeah, because black's got the bishops.
He's got bishops, yeah. Quite good pieces. And I wasn't sure. I mean, I was just thinking about this as we were talking and wondering about this position. Apparently the engine, maybe you can go a5 now and put a bishop on b4 would be quite a good place to put it. And you put a bishop on b4 and yeah, okay, it thinks white's a bit better. Which is true, actually. Maybe you can go... No, you can't get the queen yet. Because I put a bishop on b4, which I claim is a good square. Or I can maybe... There might be something else I could do. I don't know. It just looked to me like a plausible position where you might find a way to get compensation for a pawn. a5 it doesn't like. I don't know what the engine wants to do. But
yeah,
it just felt of interest to me. So queen a1 was one of the moves I was looking at.
Yeah, he didn't play there, actually. Shreyas had a 20-minute think from this position, and actually, instead of queen a1, he played knight in onto e5.
That doesn't look to me particularly good, actually.
Well, first of all, what happens if black just takes it?
I don't like taking it because then knight c4 is going to support it. I want to take in d4 in this position, really.
So you're taking d4 here for black?
Yeah, I don't think rook takes is going to be a particularly good move. If bishop, yeah, maybe. If bishop takes, I'm just going to swap. And if pawn takes, well, I'll think about playing knight takes knight and knight d5 because I'm quite secure there.
But what about rook takes? To me, that looks quite natural because then you're lining up on the d file.
Maybe you can, yeah. Yeah, perhaps that is a good idea. Because also you might manage to get across to a long way across, mightn't you?
You could go all the way to h file at some point if you want.
h4 or g4.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yes, it's possible. I'm wondering if I could. I was going to go queen c7, and I started thinking about takes, and some knight move. Because I mean, I can play knight back to f6. I'm not going to get mated at this point. It just looks reasonably natural to me. I think if you go knight takes knight, that sort of makes sense to me for white because you've got a c4 square for the knight, which is supporting it.
Yeah.
I rather like that for white. So, I mean, it doesn't think it's particularly exciting, does it? I mean, that's the thing I would most like to do is to play. If knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, well, I think this is a little bit dangerous.
Because the rook can come over again.
Or just because, well, white has a square in d6 to put things on, and I'm going to try to use that somehow. It may not be the end of the world at all, but it just feels slightly better for white to me. I mean, if there's knight d5 or knight d7, I suppose. If knight d5, I was thinking of playing, or maybe rook g4 on a good day.
Yeah, that looks fun. Don't know whether that's right, but it looks fun.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm going to try to play to move my queen, maybe knight b4 now or something to annoy me. Yeah, maybe I don't have time. I wanted to try to put a knight in d6. See,
yeah.
I think I'd like to keep the boys on the board, so go queen c1 now, perhaps.
Right, yeah, keeping the girls on the board.
The girls on the board, actually, in this case, yeah. Yes, I shouldn't really mess genders up, should I? Fifth pieces, it's deeply suboptimal. Now, it's possible you can play knight a2 now, and it's all right, actually. Just try to annoy white. Just go backwards and forwards hitting the queen while the knight's on d2.
You could then, though, go... you could put your queen on a1 to get out of that.
Well, but I take your horse.
Oh, that's not so good.
And then you resign.
That's not good at all.
Which is suboptimal, yes.
That's suboptimal too.
If queen c2,
right. So does that just mean a draw then?
Well, it might do. There's also possibly queen c. Yeah, it might
queen
be
c2 and then queen g1, but then you're back to where you were.
That's back to where you were. So it's not clear to me anything's. It's possible you can do this then, but the guy will. I mean, it's just a position.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't particularly like knight e5. I think it's releasing the tension. I'd like to attack the a6 pawn, but maybe I'm being... It's obviously a reasonable thing to do. If I could take in d4, I would as black, I think, because I think that was fairly safe, you know.
Actually, black's done something else. Black has played knight, a move we haven't discussed, knight to b6, attacking the rook.
Okay, that's certainly possible. So now maybe he wants to take in d4 after the rook has moved and then play knight d5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rook is not great, is it? Maybe it goes to a2 now.
Yeah, so, you can't really keep it on this fourth rank, unfortunately.
You cannot. You're not allowed to.
Not allowed. There's no way. So rook a2 maybe, yeah. Oh, he's gone rook a1, actually. Rook a1.
Yeah, okay. I thought maybe a2, because then I could play queen a1.
Queen a1 still, yeah, I see.
I'm not sure he's done this particularly well. I mean, you know, I don't feel frightened as black at all. I don't think I'm better yet or anything, but I'm fairly calm about the position. You know, it doesn't feel like white has got any way. All of black's pieces are good. If I just taken d4 and played knight fd7 or something, I don't think that'd be much worse.
So, okay, take on d4. We're going to go bishop takes d4.
Yeah. And then I was maybe one of the knights to d7 to challenge this. Maybe this one.
Knight fd7?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, there's no big attacking thing you can do at this point, I don't think.
Although I do think white's pieces are more lined up towards the king's side.
A little bit, yeah.
It's only a little bit, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, I don't think it's a huge amount.
No.
I mean, I think, you know, you can get plus equals probably this way or that, but not more. Maybe I should have put the other, maybe I should have put the other knight back to d7, actually.
Okay.
Just gone back, because now you can't recapture on d4. So I could have done that way. Yeah, okay, it thinks white's a bit better. I mean, maybe it likes bishop f3 now. Takes. And the c6 square is a bit loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Well, you could bring this knight into c4, couldn't you, with this way around?
I'm not sure that's so great, because then I take and I play knight d7. I'm just swapping the pieces.
Yeah.
Bishop f3 I'm a little concerned about as black.
Bishop f3.
Yeah, I find this, yeah. Because now if takes, knight 2 takes, then there's a little bit of a problem on c6 maybe.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slightly threatening knight c6 now. Now you're probably okay after some sensible line. Maybe I could go knight takes knight, queen d5 or something, and nothing really happens. But, you know, I'm having to be a little bit careful. It could go quite wrong for black, you know.
Yeah, I'm wanting to now get my queen on the diagonal and then go rook a5 and go.
Yeah, there are things you can try to do. I mean, I'm wondering about queen f3, gf3 to get the knight to c6 quickly. Probably isn't great. I mean, I'm just, you know, thinking of things that might happen. The a6 pawn is a little weak. It feels like a position. Also, just queen e, well, can't play queen e2 probably because of b3. I don't know. I mean, I can believe it's slightly better for white, but I don't believe it's a lot.
Yeah.
And none of these things do I think, you know, this is some great disaster for black.
No.
But I'm perhaps trying to equalise too hard. I probably wouldn't be if I was playing this kid. I mean, Shreyas is a good player, but I'd probably be trying to keep a bit more tension.
Yeah.
Black, actually.
Now, hi, Blue-Grey Haze. Blue-Grey Haze is saying Kamila Hirshenko is showing as Ukraine on Chess24, but actually FIDE website says she's transferred to England. So Kamila played extremely well, actually. There was a women's norm tournament that was held at the Mind Sports Centre, and she was doing really, really well there. So great news if she's transferred to England. That's really good. 20 years old, 2136 rating.
That's okay,
very good player.
Good.
And so she's playing in the Open. So we'll have a check on her games in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see if they played any more moves here, and then they have played one more move. So we had rook a1, didn't we? And then knight fd5 happened.
Right. I mean, you know, just some position, isn't it?
Yep.
Can you start to get your boys and girls into play? I don't know.
Or like bishop f3.
Yeah. I always look at moves like takes and c5 and hope I can use a tempo to do something devastating. But obviously devastation is not really on the horizon yet.
Yeah. Devastation would need to be what? Coming in on f7, h7.
Yeah, I mean, bishop d3 might be an amusing move, but it's probably too early.
Yeah.
Probably getting overexcited. But I usually do when given the chance to attack in any way whatsoever. That's probably about it. I mean, it's more sensible to keep the tension than to take in d4 unless you have some reason to.
Yeah.
It's just sort of.
Fine. All right, we're going to switch games. We are going to see. Who do we want to see? Let's see. Should we see the Battle of the Matthews? Matthew Turner against Matthew Wadsworth.
Okay.
I've seen a Matthew Turner, and you might have seen it as well, a Matthew Turner and Matthew Wadsworth battle before. There was this amazing game in the, I think it was the online British, really good game between these two. And if I remember right, Matthew Wadsworth came out on top, but there were these incredible tactics for both sides. So let's see how they do here.
Is this an exchange Slav or something?
It's probably going to be really boring now. I've built it up like that.
Well, the position we got did have potential to be extremely tedious.
Oh dear. C4, C6. Take exchange Slav. Okay. Knight C3, knight C6, F4, F5, E3. Well, maybe they both respect each other's tactics after that previous game and then don't want to go anywhere near it.
But it's a last round game, isn't it? Do they have anything to play for, by the way?
So let's just see their scores.
Do they have much to play for? Because if you don't, then you.
I think they're not. Marcus. Oh gosh, no, hang on. Marcus 5 out of 8. No, because of that draw, because he needs 6.5, doesn't he? 6.5 for the Grandmaster norm.
That's a shame.
So he's playing for winning the tournament.
Right.
He's jointly in the lead with Twan Berg. And
Twan Berg, the Dutch guy.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting this all wrong. Matthew, no. Sorry. Twan Berg is the Dutch guy. Sorry, Matthew Wadsworth.
Did I?
They're both on 3.5. Sorry.
I used to know him a long time ago when I
Twan
played.
Berg?
Yeah, I think, was it when I played in the Dutch league or something?
Okay.
Could have been, yeah, because I think did he play for Folmac at one point, or did I? I think I did a coaching session once with some of the kids who were then about 3 years old, but are now grown ups, of course.
He's a shogi player, isn't he, Twan?
Is he?
I think he's either shogi or go, and I think it's shogi. Yeah.
You would know.
Well, you would think I would know, and I think it is shogi. Yeah, because I play both games, but I think it is shogi, and I think if I'm right, does he also play poker as well? I'm not sure, but chess and shogi. I think.
Did he say backgammon as well?
I don't know about backgammon. But
what did you say? He also plays what?
I was thinking poker.
Oh, poker. He could
Could do, but I could be completely making it up. I think shogi though.
Tempted slightly to look up his biography. I will actually.
All right, we're going to find out all about.
It won't be on your screen.
Sorry, not on my screen. I've got the Matthews up.
You got the Matthews up. I'm just
going to keep playing some moves in the Matthews.
Okay, I will be back with you in a minute. I just wanted to find something out.
Find out about Twan Berg. Yes.
Indeed.
Castle, knight h5. So Matthew Wadsworth wants to swap off the bishop for the knight. Knight e5 and takes on f4. Takes on c6. Queen b4. Okay. e8. Queen a3 and knight takes e2 check. So we're going to have a knight against bishop.
Right. Oh, yeah, this guy. Okay. I've actually got it in Dutch on the screen, but it doesn't really matter.
I've got a different way to look up whether he plays shogi.
Right. No, I'm sure you do. Let's have a look. Don't see. Yeah, he does play shogi. I can see him here.
There we go.
He's the Dutch shogi champion in 2016, 18, and 22.
Oh, fantastic!
I'm just looking in Wikipedia in Dutch.
Yeah.
How old is he? 1990. My God, he's more than 30. You know, he was probably, it would have been 10 or 15. He would have been a late teenager last time I saw him, I think. Anyway, all these sprogs who've got older.
It happens.
How is it possible?
Yeah.
Now, he's just done this, has he? I thought that in this, if we go back a couple of moves.
Yeah.
I thought that he might have just gone here. I thought he might have taken and played bishop d3, and that would have equalised.
Sorry, taken what?
The bishop and e2.
White's after queen a3.
Yeah. Well, what was White's last move? No, but before rook b8. How did he manage to get the knight on f4? What happened? Must have gone knight take. Oh, I see it. When knight takes.
When knight h5.
Knight h5, and it went takes. I see. Take. So we got this position of black to play. I thought just knight takes bishop check, knight takes knight, bishop d3 would more or less equalize. I mean, I don't think it matters very much having one isolated pawn in this position. Yeah, just bishop d3, I thought.
Right. Mind you, I wouldn't mind playing this as white.
No, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But you just take and you put your queen on b6, your f rook and b8, then you play a5, a4, and you end up completely equal, almost certainly.
Yeah.
You probably end up with, 5 pawns each. So I thought that was probably more sensible, but maybe he's playing for the advantage.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little bit, Okay, so he's done that. Now he can still go bishop d3 if you want to.
True. So
I'm not sure if he's got the right rook either, because I mean, I'd like to play a5 here, really, as black, with the rooks the other way around. So probably bishop d3 now.
Just swap off.
Yeah. Rook fe1. Rook e1. Yeah, you better protect the horse.
Yeah.
Weird. Now there is a positional threat now of knight to c3 to a4. So I think you need to take that knight, really. And, well, it's a little bit, you've got this pressure on the c-pawn. It's a little bit better for white, I think.
You'd prefer it to be white, wouldn't you? But maybe it's nothing much.
You would, yeah. I mean, if the rooks were the other way around, I'd play a5, and I think I'd be okay, probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if the rooks were the other way around on a8 and b8, I'd play a5, rook c2, g6, because I need to sort my back rank out.
Looking out, yeah.
Rook fc1, queen b4, I think.
Yeah.
If takes, pawn takes, then the pawn hangs on a2. Maybe white is going to be able to play.
Well, have to go not take. Yeah.
Yeah, but queen b2, I'll have a4 or something.
Right.
And I think I'll be all right.
Mm.
And if takes, pawn takes. So yeah, the rook and f8 should be on a8 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because that I think is reasonably okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. I'm going to switch game. And now I need to switch to Twenberg. Now we've been talking about him.
We do.
Okay, so Twenberg against James Jackson. James Jackson is a Barbican teammate of mine.
Right.
I'm playing black here, so let's see. So e4. We're getting lots of e4.
Well, I mean, the thing is that the big guys like to play the Berlin now, don't they? If people aren't playing the Berlin, then there's quite a lot of reason to play e4.
We're getting some g5s and g4s. Let's see. This looks like quite exciting. So knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop b4, e6.
So Steinitz deferred, in fact, c3. Did he play f5?
No.
F5
no, just wait for the next three moves. So bishop d7.
No. I mean, f5 is the siesta variation.
The siesta or fiesta?
Siesta.
Siesta, so you sleep, not fiesta, so you
it's
party.
It's supposed to put white to sleep before you take him out.
F5 doesn't look that sleepy a move, though.
No, it's called the siesta variation, though, I believe. Yes. If takes, bishop takes castles, you play bishop d3.
So let's see some of the siesta. So siesta here, takes.
Have you got an opening book you can turn on here or not?
Not sure.
I mean, I think castles, you go bishop d3 is rook e1, and I can't remember what you do then. Do they go bishop b7 or knight f6? They go rook e3, 4, knight e1, and they give up a pawn and get some sort of ridiculous attack. I mean, this was in sort of Leonard Barden's book on the Royal Lopez in about 1902 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
1960 something.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. And there were games like Kerry's playing this as black and things. I believe. But probably it's been refuted. I don't know. It's probably some engine has gone beep. As they tend to. Because, I mean, the thing is, you can take twice in d3 and you win a pawn. But while you're doing that, your position is you lose a lot of time. And black sort of tries to checkmate you in the most egregious possible manner. So I think this is, as I said, I can't remember. I don't play e5 anyway, but okay. So he didn't do that. That's sad.
He's done something exciting too. So bishop d7, okay, not exciting yet. But castles, can you guess the move now, John?
Yeah, g5.
G5 is what he played. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, of course.
D4 and G4.
Come on, yeah. All gentlemen. I mean, if it was Mamadiarov, you'd know he played G5. You'd be absolutely certain.
91.
Yeah.
And Bishop H6 he played.
That's a funny move.
Off these dark square bishops. I wasn't expecting it. I was
Oh,
thinking he might like go H5 as well, but maybe that's too much.
Well, maybe you get an F4 or something and start attacking a bit earlier. I thought Bishop G7 looked normal, but who knows? I mean, I know they do play G5 in all positions now. So what did White play after this little sally?
Well, he just took it off. Tuan took it off.
Yeah.
Now, of course, with shogi, you take off the piece and then you can drop it on the board again at a later stage. But with chess, you just can't do it. And the piece
you can't do it. It's very unfair, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm getting used to being able to do it now. So
what did you do now? F4 or something? Or
no, Queen D2. Attacking this knight on
Queen
H.
somewhere. Queen H4?
Queen F6 was played.
Okay, I want to play F4 now and get on with the game. See what happens.
F4 was played. Tuan played F4. Yeah. Okay. And
you probably have to take on D4 and hope you can get away with it.
This all happened. Take on D4.
E5, I'm assuming.
E5, it happened. And so James now dropped his queen back. So I guess James is going to castle long any moment. And
well, if pawn takes pawn, you have to move knight takes E5 and a really good day with a following wind. But you may need a huge following wind, actually.
So you mean like C takes D4 here and knight takes here?
It's conceivable. But I think probably F takes, bishop takes, knight C3. And
Hi, Zoram. Well, F takes.
Yeah, bishop takes. Now something horrific.
This looks like the king's, could get in trouble, doesn't it?
It could get very much in trouble. I mean, it's quite possible you get your head kicked in now. I just can't actually see the immediate way to remove the said head from shoulders. But I mean,
Queen B4?
Queen B4, bishop C6 might be okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not absolutely clear to me this is a disaster, but I'm absolutely not surprised if it is either. You know, there are many much ways that this game could end very quickly. I mean, knight C3, you have to go bishop C6. So otherwise, presumably, knight D5 will win. And then, how are we going to do this? I mean, it's only saying this. I mean, just taking a D6 and D5 and knight E4 is obviously, or D5 and knight E4 or something is probably going to be enough to end the game, I should think. D5.
D5.
Yeah, maybe bishop E5. Bishop D6. I'm going to play knight E4, aren't I?
You're coming in. Oh, gosh. Yeah. That looks scary. Knight F6.
That is scary, yeah.
That's really scary.
You have to castle long, I think.
Yeah, castle long.
And probably the engine is going to tell me that if I take in D6, the game is almost over. Because there is blood everywhere. But I've screwed this up, have I? Or was there something even more horrible?
No.
It's a happy bunny again. I mean, I got Queen A, Queen something. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
we know this is a massive attack, don't we?
Yeah. Okay. So C takes D4. So we were looking at knight E5, but it looks like it's too much, doesn't it?
It's much too much, yes.
Much too much. So James castled out of the way.
F5 maybe? Possible, or castle somewhere. He has castled, has he?
He's castled like this. Yeah, I think that might be wise, given those lines.
Okay. So now we look at, if knight C3, there's pawn takes pawn, F takes pawn, knight E5 is much, much more plausible in that position.
Okay, so here,
yeah.
Oops, that's not the knight. Yeah. Knight there, so takes, and knight E5 now. Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. That might be playable on a good day with a following wind. Even with a slightly adverse wind, it might not be too terrible.
It's better now the king's out of the way, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, if pawn takes knight, we just play bishop takes bishop. And
yeah.
Unless white has something very strong, it's going to be okay. I can go queen E3, bishop C6, queen A7 maybe. But if you have to run, you have to run. You can play B6 maybe as well and even not run. Position isn't clear anyway.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm thinking, well, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen e3. I'm looking at queen e3. Yeah, bishop c6. I want to go rook f6. Actually, that causes quite a large incident. Maybe you can play rook d6 in that position, which is a ridiculous move. Because if knight g8, I'm going to play
rook d6. That's hilarious, John. Here we go. Look,
might be a move.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's
pawn takes. We do
because if you go knight g8, I'll play rook takes bishop, and I'm going to claim that you're going to be checkmated long before you can enjoy your glorious advantage of the exchange. That's probably okay for black. I mean, black's pieces.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know, do you? I mean, you know, I'm just making it up as I do. You know, ping.
So here we go. So we were just looking at
knight c3.
Knight c3,
Yeah.
and then just sort of taking and then doing this slow kind of trick thing on e5.
Yeah, trick is always good.
Tuan did bishop c6 here.
Okay, it makes sense. Bishop c6.
Bishop c6, and then knight c3. So this trick doesn't happen anymore.
Now, can I now go takes queen e5?
Oh,
queen h6, queen d4 check. Is that complete nonsense?
Let's see. So takes, and queen e5. Dramatic move from John.
So queen h6.
Queen check.
Pawn check. Doesn't believe me at all. Rook f2, I think. It just thinks this is crap. I wasn't sure that it would be crap because I thought I might have some way to use the fact that pieces are in the middle of the board, but white's fairly secure here.
Yeah, giving the pieces too much.
I mean, if rook f2, I'd go rook he8. And then if rook d1, which is probably not a good idea at all, then I'll play queen takes, knight takes, rook f1, and I'll be okay, I think, in that position. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like this rook d1 at the end.
No. I mean, if I just go takes, queen takes rook, probably, yeah. Maybe it doesn't like it. And rook takes, yeah, this is all right. This is, have to go rook f1. Now, there's a question, can I go bishop b5 in this position? But even if I just take on e1 or something, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I think, you know, because you're going to get some position where white's a bit better, but black. I suppose white will probably get a pass pawn on the king side in the very long term, but I mean, you take it. If you don't take it, I can go rook to e2 to e1 and make a draw. So if you, and I mean, this is just a position again. It's I've probably overplayed my hand a bit as black. I tend to, don't I? I tend to get overexcited at every opportunity.
You give away James's pieces.
I haven't. I've got a rook and a bishop. What's wrong with that? Did you see the game in the US Championship which ended in 10 moves?
Oh, no.
No, because it was a game Dominguez against somebody, Maria Derby, I think, where black got his move order wrong in a Petrov and just resigned on move 10.
Oh, no. Oh,
but you could have played on for a bit with two pieces against a queen.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, lost, but you can try it. You know, I mean, if you're playing a weaker player, you can quite easily win that as well, actually.
Yeah.
So you probably shouldn't have resigned, but that was. I was thinking I'd go rook e6 and if queen checks bishop e8, probably queen g5 or queen g7 or something is a good idea. Queen g5, I think. If queen f8 bishop e8, black's starting to get organised a bit. Yeah, I don't think it's so terrible.
Oh, Loz says, you know, the game in the US you're talking about, Loz saw that game and has won the same way in Paynton in 1990. So they were probably following your game, Loz.
But well, there was also a game where black played on with 2 pieces against a queen, because after knight d5 you can recapture it and you can show the game. I don't know if you can easily get that game, Natasha. I mean, if you go to the beginning, I can play the moves for you.
Okay, we can just go to the start of this game and
let's have a different game.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
So e4, e5, knight f, knight f, not f, f, f for Freddy.
Sorry.
It's a Petrov.
Petrov.
Knight e5, d6, knight f3, knight e4, d4, d5, bishop d3, bishop f5. Is that right? Or do you go bishop b7 first? Castles, bishop b7, c4 castles, which is not a good move. Pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn. What does white play in that position?
Tactics quiz. Oh my goodness. Right, tactics quiz, which will be the move that Loz played in Paynton.
Dominguez played 2 days ago.
Or is it just takes? No. We'll have a knight c3 in it, won't it? So takes.
If you take
queen
first,
takes, then rook e1, takes bishop takes knight c3.
Yeah, the thing is, after takes bishop takes knight c3, bishop f3, knight d5, you have to play bishop d5, and the game faintly continues there.
Oh, because if you take on d1 as an intermediate move, knight e7.
There's an intermediate check.
Yes.
When the house, the garden, and several of the sheds.
Yes.
But after bishop d5, the game vaguely continues. I mean, it doesn't continue if you're an engine. You go, beep, what are you talking about? You can hear the indignation of the engine. Just look at that bar, can't you? How dare you play on, boy? But, as I said, if you play this position quickly against Sprog, say, you can sometimes do a chaos black.
Yeah.
Because, your position, if you had a couple of moves to develop, would actually be perfectly playable. I mean, it might be lost, but who cares?
But they were in the US Championships.
They were, so they're probably embarrassed. But I mean, you could still have played some moves. There's no reason. There's no advantage in resigning, is there? You never won a game by resigning.
You never
won
a game. Zoram's asking you, did you see Awanda Liang playing the following versus Fabi and managed to draw? E4, E5, knight f3, knight f6, knight E5, knight E4.
Did he?
Apparently.
When was that? When did
Zoram said it.
When was that?
Oh, when? I'm assuming recently.
Oh, I mean, there is queen e2, queen e7, queen e4, d6 is not that clear, actually. I mean, the old trap where you lose the queen is not forced at all. I think, what's the guy's name? Somebody played that against me in Amsterdam, I think, and I had to work out. What's the guy? Eamon Keogh, isn't it? Eamon Keogh's the Irish guy who had a bar.
Yeah.
And I think he played that against me and got a position. It wasn't that clear. And eventually I got him, but I probably would have anyway, I think.
Yeah.
Because, I was a stronger player even then. So this position is what's happened now.
So here we go. So Twan's played knight c3.
And the guy hasn't gone takes queen e5 because he's a sane person.
No, he avoided that line. He's kept his knight. He's going to bring his knight into the game, and then maybe he'll think about it. So knight f5.
Yeah, sensible.
Knight c2.
Yeah.
G3.
That makes a lot
of sense. Oh, so now this pawn. See, Alpha Zero likes those pawns, doesn't it? The ones on
Alpha Zero definitely likes those pawns.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
This position is starting to get to the point where there might have a very bad day for white be tactics.
Yeah.
So, for instance, But
what about the same tactic you had a second ago?
Well, I'm wondering about takes. No, takes. Oh, maybe it does work now. Because
the knight's on prise still.
No, but the knight's on prise and c2.
Oh, but g2. Oh, right. So so if it was black's move, black is. I mean, it is black's move, in fact. So it is black's move. So we're going to look at this tactic. So takes.
We're going to look at this tactic now. There's either knight d4, which I don't think works, because let's try queen e5. So pawn takes queen, rook takes queen is just good for black. That's winning for black.
Yeah.
Because G2's on prise and C2's on prise. This is
but there's something better white can do because this is showing.
Yes. No, I know. I wasn't sure what it was. I thought queen G5 might be a good move. I think queen G5 may win. Because that hits the queen and
the knight.
Yeah, no, is rook D4 possible now, perhaps? Probably then rook F5, I think. I don't think this is quite going to work for black. I mean, there are lots of horrible things that could occur. I don't think they're really... Yeah.
Yeah, because those knights are controlling all the squares on the diagonal and the second rank and anywhere interesting, aren't they?
They are, yeah. So you can't do that, no. Which is sad, because I mean...
That's a shame, because that was looking exciting, but it's not possible.
You can also go takes, knight D4, queen E5, possibly.
So takes...
I don't think you can. I was thinking of going knight D4, queen E5.
Oh, you keep giving up James's piece, and computer doesn't like it here.
No, I know it doesn't. I mean, I can see why. Now, so there are a couple of questions. One question is if you go knight C6, queen C5 check, knight D4, rook takes, queen E3. I think that just basically wins for white. White's better, yeah? I mean, there's no big discovery or anything, so black carries on playing, but he's clearly worse.
Ace down, yeah.
He is, yeah. I'm not sure why it's not a bit more sniffy about this.
Yeah.
Black has some. I mean, he does have rook E8. Sorry, he has rook E8 here.
Rook E8. Oh, I see. If takes, then queen rook interposes.
Yeah, because I thought he didn't have that. That was This is good for black now. Because I thought he didn't have rook E8 because I'd forgotten which is what I was thinking about. I don't know if you can go rook E8, knight A4 though. Is interesting.
Rook E8, knight A4.
Maybe queen A7 is funny. That's a very funny move, queen A7.
Queen A7.
That's sort of catastrophe total, I think, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because if queen takes on G3, you're just taking the knight.
Queen takes on G3, you're going to play, rook takes knight check, or maybe, can we do something a bit more oomph-some? Probably not. Rook G4 check, queen F2. Doesn't work, does it?
Yeah.
Might have worked, but okay. Yeah.
Right. But it will be no surprise to you that James didn't go into these crazy sacrifices.
No, of course he didn't. Of course he didn't.
He's put his rook to the middle, but that could be lining them up, you know. Oh, did something very odd just happen in Shreyas' game? I think we better have a look because this is.
Maybe queen G6 was possible there just to get his blockade going. I mean, he's got quite a nice position, but it's annoying he can't take an E5.
Right.
Let's
look at this odd thing. Let's look at this odd thing in Shreyas' game. Well, this computer evaluation looks interesting. Right, where did we get up to, John?
We got up to about here.
Here's live.
Well, is there an accident happening on B6? Isn't that quite a big accident?
Let's see where we were. Oh, we were here, right? Knight FD5.
Yeah.
Bishop F3.
Yeah.
Rook B8. Rook C1. Takes. Bishop takes. Okay, we got positions like this. Queen E8. Oh!
No, E4 wins.
Wow.
That's a bit dopey, isn't it? Oh, that's very nice. Who's he playing? Everyone argues.
This is for his IM title, if I've got it right.
Good. Well.
Fantastic.
Well, that appears to be the end of the game, doesn't it? is the guy doing playing queen?
Queen E8.
I mean, I know it's anti-positional to play e4, but when it wins a piece, you can forgive it. I think he probably wants to try f6 now, I suppose.
Okay, f6.
Yeah.
And then what? Now we take one of the knights. We take the knight on d5, don't we?
I think you'd have to take on d5 and take on b6. That does get 2 pawns for the moment.
So if he takes this one, we take this one.
And then we play pawn takes d5.
Pawn takes. So he's got 2 central pawns, but he's lost a piece for it. So
well, he's lost a piece, and it's white's move, and white can go bishop c7 here.
Oh, and pick up one of the pawns.
Well, certainly try to pick up a pawn. We'll see if, unless there's some tactics, it's not going to work very well, is it? We probably have to try e4 here, really, as black, which is
e4.
So just take the rook.
Take the rook. Take the bishop. And then we just bring this bishop back, like all the way to g3, right?
Yeah. And then we loft him.
There we go. And...
well, he resigns, really.
He resigns.
Good. That's very nice.
This looks very promising. Okay, excellent. So let's keep an eye on that one, how that develops, but it's looking very promising for Shreyas.
Indeed.
Right, who did we not see yet? Marcus against Jonah, we haven't seen yet.
Marcus is trying to win the tournament, is he?
He's trying to win the tournament, yeah.
And who's white, Marcus or Jonah?
Marcus is white. So Marcus is 5 out of 8. So Marcus and Twan are both trying to win the tournament. And Jonah has 4 out of 8. So he's actually 4 out of 8. So he could get an IM norm.
How much is an IM norm? 5.
But I think he maybe just became an IM. So in that case, he doesn't need it. Yeah, IM. Yeah, he's just recently become an IM. So
oh, good. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in between seasons. But so he should do.
So he should, and he has. So congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see the game. So c4, e5. We've got in English, knight c3, knight c6, knight f3, and f5 for Jonah. Aggressive opening.
It is.
d4, e4. I'm sure this used to be in one of my puzzle books, this very line, and you'd go d5.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are things that can happen, but I mean, oh yeah, I was trying to find a puzzle book yesterday. I couldn't find it. 200 Traps in the Chess Opening.
Okay.
By Al Horowitz. I've said in my column for Chess Base because but because of this Dominguez game, I was doing a column on opening disasters.
Yeah.
And I was looking at this shelf, and do you remember the color of book spines? Is that something you do or not? If you have a book, you know.
I have a special skill on it. Yeah.
Because I got terrible eyesight, but actually I do know what color book spines are.
Okay. And so what color spine were you looking for with these openings?
I was looking for light blue. It's actually slightly darker. I found it. I found it in a bookstore. I mean, I know it's on my shelf somewhere. But I asked Lindsay, who has unbelievable eyesight and pattern recognition. Yeah. She couldn't see it, so maybe it's gone down the back.
So you don't arrange your books in alphabetical order. It's more
no, not alphabetical order. I have opening books, endgame books.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of chess books in here.
I'm sure you do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About 20 shelves of books and then there are others which aren't on shelves.
Yeah. Do you want to turn your camera around so everyone can see your shelves?
If you want, I will. Yes, but then I have to put it back. Here you go.
Yeah. Right. I should look. Oh, I see them now. Yes. Okay. Oh gosh. Wow.
And that's only some of them.
Wow. Yes.
So you can get an idea. Now let me just get myself back.
Yes.
So yeah, I do have many much books, but I couldn't find this. It's actually a slightly darker blue than I remembered from 50 years ago. But
so you found it in the end?
No, I didn't actually. I found a different opening book.
Okay.
A book by Neustadt.
Okay.
Which was quite fun actually. It had some nice games. I could I might maybe show you one in a while. Well, it's on. I don't know if it's on Chess Space yet, I can give you a link if it's on ChessBase yet already. Have they put me up yet? Neiman plays Psychotic Chess and wins. Oh, well. God almighty, they do go on, don't they? He probably called him his chess psychotic, didn't he?
Well, he's a superstar now.
I don't know, he's a super...
Well, famous, I mean, in terms of fame.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather be famous for 5 minutes than for...
Yes.
Poor boy. Anyway, in my opinion, but... So knight g5 was played on knight g1 or something.
Knight g1 actually was played. Knight g1.
Yeah.
Bishop b4.
Yeah.
Bishop d2. Knight f6 and e3.
Yeah, by the way, if knight d4, there would have been knight e4.
So we have to remember in looking at this opening that Marcus has just finished, literally right just before the game, finished playing like a 120 move draw.
Yeah, but he's young and strong, isn't he?
So he's young and strong, so he can play anything. He can do anything.
Yeah, he can get on with it.
Yeah. Okay. D6. Knight h3. Castle.
I wonder about d5 in that position after d6, because you have to take in c3. And then you can try to smash a diagonal open in the strongest possible terms.
So here?
Yeah. So you have to play bishop c3. Bishop c3, knight e5. And I was thinking, well, yeah, knight e5, I was thinking about playing f4 now and bashing my way through the diagonal, but probably I'm going to get some horrendous position where I win a pawn and get checkmated. Serves me right, really. Okay, we won't do that, no. I mean, I was thinking about playing f4 now, but honestly, it's too disgusting to even contemplate.
Yeah.
And knight h3, yeah?
Yeah. I think Marcus is a more solid kind of guy.
He's a very good player. He's a very good positional player, and he has tremendous touch, of course. I mean, you know, he's a really good blitz player. I mean, I thought he'd be even stronger than he is now a little while ago. I don't know if he's slightly plateaued for a bit.
Well, I don't know, but he was on for a GM norm here, so that's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased to hear it, because, you know, I just think it's nice to have decent, proper chess players, you know, who are up and coming, and he's definitely a proper chess player. You know, he's beaten some really strong players at Blitz, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's really...
You know, sort of people like, I don't know, Caruana maybe, somebody like that, people like that almost. No, he beat So, didn't he, at Blitz?
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah. Okay.
At some point, you know, and you just thought, yeah, that's a proper chess player.
Ah, so I wonder if he's going to play. I hope he plays. Is when they're like this tournament where all the top players play Blitz against each other? You'd want Marcus to be at that.
No, there is a British Blitz Championship on December the 3rd.
I wasn't meaning British. I'm going to that one, but I didn't mean that. I meant
the World Blitz or something.
Well, I mean world. I mean world for
yeah, because I did qualify for the British Blitz.
Yeah. Very proud. Well, I'll see you there, John. I'll see you there.
Are you playing?
Yeah, probably. No, but I'm in the women's, of course.
Oh, you're in the women's, right? No, of course. Yeah, because there was a qualifier.
But you know who's also in the women's?
Who?
Bodana, who's 7 years old and winning everything. Yeah, she's really good.
Can she reach the back rank?
Well, yeah, you have to make all your threats right near. Yeah, that's true. Right near your
long
side.
Way away from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were games in the Olympiad, weren't they, when occasionally you were playing people who trying to get up the board. The physical constraints. I was going to say, yeah. There was
Marcus. Are you up against Marcus then on the 3rd of December?
I can't remember if Marcus. I know I'm the top seed, which is a bit perturbing. It means it's not terribly strong. I mean, it was you had to qualify, and Adam Rauf's qualifier was literally about 7 or 8 minutes walk from me. So
yeah, but I looked at that one, the London one, wasn't there? Like it was like huge, wasn't it? Wasn't like over 100 people, maybe
couple
more.
100 people. Yeah. Yes, I lost to the British champion. Is the only game I lost to. I mean, I played some horrible moves. I blundered a rook early on up against about a 180 player, and he offered a draw, as you do.
So Harry Greaves, did he qualify then? He must.
Harry didn't know. It was a Ukrainian guy who's living in Harrow. What is the guy's name? He got out of Ukraine with his wife and his son. and is about 25, 30, 40 strength. And he won it. I was a piece up against him, then I blundered a rook, then I drew. And yeah, basically it's 15 rounds and fun. I mean, once your hands are playing, then it's all right. Until your hands play, it's impossible to play blitz, of course. So I enjoyed it, yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I played it in Bolton. And I qualified before I even played any move because I was the only woman out of that.
Right. So, but had you played some moves, it would have been.
I did play some moves. I played quite a lot of moves.
But you were the only woman. So how did you do actually in your 15 rounds?
I'm actually trying to remember. I mean, I can't actually remember. 50% or more. I made maybe more. Maybe I think probably a bit over 50%, but I might be flattering myself.
I think I only got 11.5 or something like that. I got less than Farouja got in the Blitz tournament against all the world's best players. I know that. I can't remember how many. Anyway, so he played.
Anyway, yes, let's see what Marcus is doing. So he's put his knight on f4.
So g5 was played.
Takes, and g5.
Which makes some sense.
Yeah, knight h5.
Yeah, I'm not particularly impressed by what Jen has done. I mean, he doesn't. He seems to be being a bit cavalier with his diagonal, I have to say. Is this really what you want to do? I mean, you need to block the diagonal.
I wonder if Jonah's thinking, I don't want to get into a long positional game against Marcus. I'd rather get into a sort of attacking game.
I think you better play d5 in this position, which is not particularly what I want to do. I just feel.
Oh, he hasn't. No, he's gone bishop d7.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd be very concerned. I suppose you got knight e5 after d5, and you claim you're all right. And there's h4 is interesting as well.
h4 now for white.
Yeah, h4 like sort of screams out a bit to me.
Yeah.
If g4, I'll put the knight back in f4 and say, "Are you happy, comrade?" And I don't think the comrade's at all happy, really, at this point.
Oh, someone is asking. Christmas Bunny 2 is asking us: is it true that the World Chess FIDE's internet arm is listing on the London Stock Exchange? I actually don't know the answer to that.
Really?
Does anyone else in the chat know about that?
No idea.
Could be true. Don't know. Sorry, but someone in the chat might.
Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, I mean, h4 is the move I'd most want to play. I think it just screams out to me to be the move you play, but I could be wrong, of course.
It was in the Times.
Right, it could be true. But it's not.
Could be true. Are you going to invest in it, John?
In FIDE?
Yeah, on the London Stock Exchange.
I don't play with stocks, so it's not a game I play.
No, I don't too much either.
I don't know anything about it. It's funny. It's these games. Since it's a game I never played, I know nothing about it. Would I invest in FIDE? I don't know. I mean, probably not the most reliable investment possible. I think h4. I thought also b4 to play b5 and d5. But presumably black stops that. What black mustn't do is to allow white to play d5 when he can't block the diagonal.
Yeah.
Because if he does, he will get kick to kingdom come.
Okay. Hence, okay. So h4. So you want to go b4, b5, kick the knight, then go d5 and open the diagonal.
And then checkmate him on h8. Yes. But I mean, I think h4 is probably the right move to start with.
So h4. So then Jonah needs to do something about that g pawn.
Has he played h4, by the way?
No. It's our thoughts about this.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that if f4, I can play knight takes knight and pawn takes pawn if necessary, and that's not really going to work. Maybe just pawn takes pawn wins actually. Yeah, pawn takes pawn. Just I think probably is just knight g4, knight f4, and what are you doing? But also knight takes knight and pawn takes pawn and queen h5 I thought was at least equal, more than equal. because, you know, white's really active.
So maybe you have to go g4.
Yeah, well, then I'll play knight back to f4. I don't believe g3 is particularly good here. And I'm just going to play, I'm going to start to think about playing b4, b5. If a5, I'll play b3 first, of course. I went to a5, a3, a4 because, you know, I was schooled before.
So a5 here, maybe.
Yeah, so probably b3 then.
Do that, b3, a3, b4.
Yeah, just not a3, a4. It seems a bit sad. And I think this is a lot better for white. I don't know if I'm going to play g3 or not. It does weaken me, but it's a question of whether I ever think that black can play g3 and somehow get some play.
Well, maybe black goes g3 right away.
Yeah, I mean, he can do, yeah. But I take it. I mean, I just remove it. Its head, and then I go king f2 and bishop b2 and then king f2. And with the knight and f4, white's clearly better.
It's a nice knight there. It's very nice.
Just a nice position, you know. Knight g4, I'll go queen d2 and then bishop b2. I think it thinks there are better things I can do, but maybe I could have gone bishop.
Guess what? Marcus has played h4.
Yeah, he'll play the natural moves. He's just a natural chess player. He just plays the normal, sensible moves. If knight takes knight, queen takes knight, g4, I assume you go queen g5 check, and then I mean, you can try to, you know, say, am I trapping a queen? But it seems unlikely. You can certainly do that if you want to. Maybe it doesn't like that because the pawn's a bit weak. Maybe, I mean, this is at least interesting. The other thing you could do is to go queen h6 to put the queen in f4.
So what, king here, you mean, and queen h6?
No, I think queen takes queen, maybe.
Queen takes queen.
If you do this and then try to win this pawn. Maybe just try to win that pawn and say, well, eventually it's going to drop off. So maybe I don't go... If I don't play queen g5 check, I have to think about how I'm reconnecting my pieces. I mean, I can play queen h6, and you know the queen will be okay, and g3 is put the queen in f4, but the queen sort of poddles around a bit before she's happy. I think white's quite a lot better here, but I mean, I think maybe that's what you should do, because at least you have something to do in this position as black. You know, you can hope that in the long term. On the other hand, there has to be a long term for you to hope about it.
You could go bishop e8 and redeploy it.
Yeah, I think queen h6 now too, probably.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, the game continues.
Interesting.
Maybe a5 and try to play knight b4, but we'll play king d2 if we have to. You know, I mean, once you get, if you let d5 happen, of course, it's really dangerous. I don't know. I mean, it's not a clear position to me, but I would much rather not have the knights on f4 and f6. I think that would be a very bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, indeed.
All right. So it looks like Jonah should be taking this knight off then.
I think so, yeah.
Just
that's certainly my feeling.
Yeah, because otherwise we're getting like rook takes and this diagonal can open and there's all sorts of things happening and the pawn on g5. Yeah. Okay. Let's just check in again on Shreyas because we left him in what we thought was a winning position. Let's see how that's developed. This is for his IM norm and title, we believe. And so e4, rook d8. So e4 was attacking this knight, and if the knight moves, then knight b6 is on prise. So rook d8.
So this is a bit desperate.
It's a bit desperate,
obviously.
Yeah. So Shreyas takes off the knight. Knight takes,
and probably plays queen c2. Knight b4. Excuse me. You just have to be a little bit careful about some ridiculous hit. You know, there's f6 and e5. I mean, it's not completely clear, but it does feel like it's basically nonsense.
Yeah.
You don't believe this, do you? Or I don't believe this.
No, it's like one pawn for the piece. And Shreyas dropped back. He dropped back, I guess, to stop the knight coming in on b4 or f4.
Yes, indeed. Very sensible move. Knight is still pinned.
And knight b4 happened. So, okay. So now, I expect we'll see an exchange here. But the bishop's en prise and the knight. So I guess just knight b4.
Yeah, then rook d4.
And then rook d4. Oh, and the bishop on b7's on, everything's on prise, of course.
Lots of stuff is on prise, but the knight on d2 is bad. It's not as simple a position as one would have hoped. I'm not sure if knight d3 was right. That's a good move, knight b4, actually.
Thanks for the follow, wishing well.
Yeah, I mean, the engine is just saying ping. It's winning, isn't it? As it would.
Yeah.
But the fact the engine goes ping is not really right.
You still have to do it, don't you? So what if you do just take... Let's take on b7 first, shall we?
Okay, well, I was going to take on d4, I think, or do I take on... Yeah, let's take on d4.
The engine doesn't like my move.
Maybe knight d3 was better.
Oh, because now if we take on...
bishop takes, then there is a huge...
takes and we've got a pin. All right, I'm probably not right with that.
No, you need a... I can't see what you're doing at the moment, actually.
Oh, is it not coming through?
No, I can't see what one should do. Sorry.
I see what you mean.
I'm slightly baffled by how one is supposed to play this position as white with these many much pieces on prise.
Yeah. Okay. What about I was going to say bishop b6, and then I was looking at bishop f3.
Well, also
doesn't work, does it?
Also, rook takes d3, and if bishop b7, queen b5, and you have to think, the hell is going on then? All those pieces on prise.
All right then. What about knight takes b4 then?
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to play rook takes d4.
Rook takes d4.
This engine isn't great, is it?
For a start, it keeps changing its mind.
Well, of course it does, because it's quite a stupid engine.
How about rook?
I mean, the problem here is that, you're going to end up with doubled f pawns as well, aren't you? In lots of positions.
Yeah.
So this position is at least unclear.
So rook c4?
Well, rook c4, I play bishop f3.
Yeah.
And then I play rook takes rook, and then I play bishop takes knight.
All right. My next attempt. Knight c6.
Knight c6 is possible. I'll take it.
Knight c6, you're taking it?
Yeah.
I'll take it as well.
I will play queen d8.
Queen d8. All right. So I'll just defend.
Yeah. Bishop b4.
No, it's better for black now. Molly, this is more complicated than I realized.
Well, that's why I was looking at it, and I couldn't actually see why it was such a happy bunny. I can't at the moment see the great move. I'm wondering if bishop g7 for some reason.
I was just starting to look at that one as well, just in desperation.
Actually, bishop g7 might be a good idea.
Bishop g7.
Yeah. It's very unhappy about that.
It really doesn't like what we're doing. Okay.
King takes bishop. Yeah. So what the hell does it want to do in this position? I can't see the move. I mean, I'm confused. Highly confused at this point.
What about bishop c6?
I can just take that. I control it. I control the square many much.
Oh, you do. Sorry, we haven't got our knight b4 in yet.
I can't see a move that gives white the advantage, but there must be some tricky thing you can do where you end up.
Well, I can't see a move that doesn't lose the piece back.
Nor can I at the moment. I'm thinking whether I can somehow hit g7 when you're not watching.
Am I allowed to look at them? Oh, right. Shreyas has played something. He's played rook c4.
Oh, is that a good move?
He's found it.
Well done, that boy.
Okay, so if the knight takes the knight, bishop takes bishop, fine. If the bishop takes bishop, we take back the queen defending the knight.
Or the other way as well. No, there's a
what
queen.
If e5? If e5, we just take it with the knight.
No, we take back with the knight defending. If queen takes e5 equalizes. Probably.
Okay, so Shreyas has done it.
Well done, that boy. I'm unimpressed with myself for not working that out, really.
Well, we were going to get there. It was just like there's a lot of possibilities.
There are many much moves, yes.
All right, so that's all under control.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. So let's look, because there's some we haven't seen at all yet, aren't there? Have we seen? We haven't seen Maciek against Gediminas Sarakauskas. Should we have a look at?
It's a Philidor or something.
Is it a Philidor? It's another e4, e5.
Looks like a Philidor to me. So it looks like if I just let my eyes.
b4. Takes.
What's a Scotch?
What's this Scotch?
Did he play Queen h4 or something?
He went bishop here.
They
C3.
do that to make you play c3, so you can't.
Yeah.
You can't put a horse there, and then when they put the bishop.
And he just went back to c5.
Yeah.
Bishop e3.
Bishop b6, I'm guessing.
E6 and knight f5.
There was a game in the Grand Place in where is it? Brussels, between Timon and Karpov during one of the tournaments where they had live pieces. It was during one of the Brussels tournaments, and knight f5 was played in a Scotch. And I think later knight g7 with check was played, and the horses in g7 and g8 were a bit discombobulated by this. Because they were actually people on horses.
Oh gosh. What?
So it was in the Grand Place, which is a vast square.
Right.
In the centre of Brussels.
Oh, I've been there, yes.
Lovely old square. You must have been there.
Yeah, I've been there for
it's
sure.
got chocolatiers and off it, and it's quite close to the Museum of Modern Art. And not very close, but quite close. Anyway, it's the centre of Brussels. So they had this exhibition game, and knight f5 was played in a Scotch, not quite in this position. Possibly in the position bishop c5, bishop e3.
So is this like real people dressed up as knights?
Yeah, this is real people and real horses.
Right, yeah.
And real horse.
Oh, real horses?
Yeah, real horse.
Okay, good.
But I think that at some point knight to f5 to g7 was played. So there were horses in g7 and g8. Which caused caused a certain amount of commotion.
That sounds like a game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was a game they'd made up, so it ended in a draw.
How long ago was this?
Probably was it Brussels 85? It was the first World Cup tournament, I think.
Right. Wow.
You need to find a tournament with Karpov and Timon where they played each other in Brussels. I think it was the first World Cup tournament, and I think that was maybe 86, maybe. It was Bessel Koch's tournament. But it was quite a performance, these people with their black cloaks on these horses.
Wow. I hope they kept a video of it. It sounds quite fun.
I don't know if there's a video of it. There must be somewhere, mustn't there? But I think it was, they had to do it quite quickly. And I don't think maybe the knight didn't go to G7 because it would have been to...
the person who planned that game would have had a sense of humour if they were putting that knight on G7, I have to say.
Well, it's just that, they're a bit close to the enemy horses, aren't they?
Indeed, yeah.
And, I mean, they had... It's where the town hall is, What do they call it? Yeah, the French.
Okay.
L'Hotel, isn't it?
Mm.
And, right. Anyway, so this position, but I think with the pawn on C2 was played in that game. I'm going to find it. Take me a moment.
Okay.
So I'm looking at a mega base. So I'm looking Karpov and Timon.
Well, here we didn't get that because
I don't know if it's Bruxelles or Brussels it'll have, so I'll go BRU. That'll do. I did.
Yeah.
BRU should be enough.
So takes. Because he can't play an intermediate move on knight G7 because you just get king F8.
You just get king F8, yeah.
Yeah.
No? Have I misspelt their names? Karpov I've managed. Timon I've managed. So I've got the annotator as BRU. The annotator is not going to be Mr. Brussels.
No.
BRU. I've done that before recently. Tabbed once too often.
F3, defending the pawn.
Yeah, I've got the game. Have I? No. Have I got this game? It was Brussels 87, actually.
Okay.
Oh, no, Brussels. The World Cup was 88. So sadly, that they don't have this exhibition game.
No.
It was between 86 and 88, anyway.
Yeah.
Because the draw. No. Haven't got it.
Oh.
I could maybe look up. A minute. I'll have a look while you're doing this.
It's fine, John. Here we go. We'll go back to the game.
We shall, yes.
Yes. Okay. So now white defended has got the center covered, and
has it got me or not?
Black castles and C4. So that lets white put his knight onto C3 where he wanted to.
Probably. Oh, I've got Tom, and that won't help. No, I don't think we're gonna.
Don't worry, we don't need it.
No, but I'm just. It's just such fun if I can find it. No, I haven't got any pictures. Okay, right. Let's go back. Here we go. Sorry, I'm now in your page. So they got to this position.
Yeah.
And white's got some sort of Gudip in a Marozzi bind type position, except the pawns on C7.
They've all got knights out and nothing else.
Absolutely, yes. It is a very horsey game indeed.
Yes.
And so what happened next? Knight
moved his horse.
And moved his horse, as you do.
As you do.
He's claiming that he's going to put his horses in good squares and play A5, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. Okay, and so now Maciej played Queen D2 and is going to castle long.
Surely Knight C5 was played.
And castle's long.
And A5, I assume.
And A5.
And this is not very clear because white's trying to attack, but he hasn't got a target at all. I should think black's okay here.
On the king side?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Okay, he's going with G4.
That makes sense. And did he play A4 after G4, or what happens? He played.
I thought he might go with H4.
You can go H4 if you want to, but after H4, H5, I might play H6 and stop you.
Yeah, true.
I think, okay, I've made a hook. But it's
okay, Queen H4 now.
It's quite clever. Now, what's happening after Knight G2? Are you just going away somewhere, a long way away?
Yes, I think so. Oh, you wouldn't go Queen H6 and swap. It doesn't even swap them off because you can just go G5.
No, but it also makes a mess. So what did he do?
King B1.
Not sure that's sort of a bit formulaic. Perhaps. What happened next?
A4, and then like D5 this way.
Makes sense. 96, I assume, or
And Queen D8.
yeah, I'm not quite sure what he was doing with his queen. Nothing
Queen
very
H4.
intelligent.
Yeah, it was blocking the H4 pawn. So now I suppose White felt obliged to play H4.
Well, it certainly stops him messing around. And then what did Black do next? Bishop
B6, and this is where they're at.
So you're going to try to take the horses as Black and somehow survive. But maybe White can... It would be... The knight's got F5 to go to as well. I mean, actually, it looks quite... I'm starting to like White quite a lot, actually, in this position. If you just play some sensible moves.
This position would have caused real chaos if they did this one in the square, wouldn't it? Those 3 knights all together and a bishop.
Yeah, yeah.
Camilla doing well against Richard Britton. We'll check in on that in a moment. Yeah.
So it's about 5 o'clock. I might collapse for a second, and then I'm going. I should tell viewers I'm going at 6. Unfortunately.
Yes. Do you want a quick break now?
Yeah, just a very quick break.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna break for 5 minutes. And
that's fine, and then we'll go until 6. And
yeah, I'm gonna leave it on. Let's leave it on. Let's leave it on Marcus Harvey's game and Jonah.
Okay, we'll just have a break for a moment.
And we're just going to break for 5 minutes. We'll be back.
Okay, lovely.
Okay,
I'll see you in a
moment.
Right. Hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
I'm now on top of you.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so now we've got Marcus Harvey.
The camera's in reverse, though, isn't it?
Sorry, I can do it either way. It's because I let you onto the stream first. You see.
Oh, I see. Right.
So it's normally quite random where I do it, but
it doesn't matter at all. Obviously, Natasha, it's of no interest whatsoever. But it just it's the other way around. That's all.
No, it's confusing you.
Enormously, yes.
Yes. Okay. So we do have some more moves in this game. So let's see that, because this is where we're at.
Right. So what happened? Did all this happen?
So, sorry. Let me get back to where we were. H4. So we were saying we thought Jonah would be wise to take the knight on H5, and indeed he has. Takes and G4, yeah. Which is what we're looking at. Queen H6 is also what we're looking at. And Bishop E2. Sorry, Queen E7, Bishop E2. Yeah. And that is where they're at.
Right.
But we do have some very exciting news in the meantime, which is that Shreyas Royal has won his game.
Well done.
Yeah, well done to him. And so that's that. We believe is now his IM title. So
brilliant.
Let's just see. I mean, it was looking pretty won when we looked at it.
It was. He just had to find rook c4, which I've seen.
He did find rook c4, right?
Yeah.
Rook c4, and then it went knight d3, takes, bishop b4, knight here, knight b2.
Yeah, queen g4.
And queen g4. Another kind of intermediate type move with a threat of checkmate. So the knight can't take the rook.
Yeah.
And Shreyas won.
And also
congratulations to him.
I mean, he could have got knight f6 check as well, actually, after queen g instead of queen g4 if he wanted. It would also have been equally efficient.
Yeah.
It would also have ended the game.
Yeah.
Bang. Well done, him.
Yes. Now we've had a couple of requests for Camilla's game, so let's pop over to there.
Yeah.
I'll just find it. So it'll be here. Okay, that's Freddie Gordon's. Let me just go back. That should hopefully work. Okay, and so this is Camilla against Richard Britton.
Right.
And so here's the game.
Right.
Should we whiz through the starting moves?
And I can't see it on my screen at the moment. I can
sorry. That's, of course, because I have to click that. There we go.
Right.
Here we go. So Sicilian defense. And a kind of closed Sicilian, F4 Sicilian.
So this is actually almost a big clamp, isn't it? Is that a big clamp?
Yeah. Yes, I think that they do.
The Canadians call it that. So King H1 maybe? Queen
E1.
Okay.
And B4. So Ricky's playing on the queen side, and Camilla is gonna, we think, do some kind of kingside action. So she's goes King H1.
Yeah.
A5, knight D2.
Yeah.
Takes. A6. Trying to make that D pawn weak.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if knight G4 or knight D7 might have caused some incident just at that exact moment.
Oh, instead of bishop A6?
Yeah, I was just thinking that knight G4 might be a nuisance. Probably knight C4 is okay.
Right.
Because I was going to try to go bishop A6 and take it and pretend that was... But actually taking that horse isn't particularly wonderful. I'm not sure if A5 is a terribly good idea, by the way, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I feel that you should have been certainly not A5 and then taken C3. Why are you doing it? I'd like to go A5 and B4 and A3 and do Who's the Canadian guy? Suttles, Duncan Suttles.
Suttles, Jon Suttles.
Duncan Suttles.
Duncan Suttles.
Is probably, I don't know if he is or was actually, somebody can tell us, a very eccentric Canadian player who liked playing the rat or whatever, sort of modern defence.
Oh, right.
There's a very famous game against Bielek, I think, where he ended up with pawns on C5, B4 and A3, completely detonating a diagonal. It was from an Olympiad, I think, and White had attacked and then Black had defended himself and the diagonal had cleared and there was carnage in this long diagonal. But it feels, why are you playing A5 if you want to take on C3? Because that just takes a square away from your pieces.
Yeah.
If it gets to A3, it makes sense because then it, smashes the said diagonal open. So at this point, it's a question really whether White can play E5 at some moment. But I mean, A4 looks like a natural move to me. There's only
a bit more consistent with the earlier.
Yeah. There's a question: can White play E5 or something? But it's not very clear. Probably not. I don't know. Takes knight G. I mean, takes pawn takes knight G4, knight C4 or something, and you're wondering. Yeah, knight G4. I wanted to try and knight C4. There's queen E4 as well. Actually, it might be. Well, not yet. Obviously, queen's on. So knight C4. I can't count, can I? I'm so sorry. If I can't count, so if I take a lot of...
Can they take on E5? Maybe. Well, but you've got always bishop F3 at the end.
There's bishop F3 at the end, yeah. The move I want to play is A3 now.
Right. This all gets very exciting.
Oh, the engine probably finds some way to do everything, keep control. Because if pawn takes A3, then I can play knight E5 on a good day.
Right.
Because then I'm going to be...
So maybe White goes like D4.
Oh, maybe D4, just... if I can't smash through, then it's a problem, yeah. D4 might well be a good move. I'm just trying to play thematically, innit? Well, I can take and D4, I think. Take and B2.
Take on B2.
No, take on B2. Oh, it really doesn't like this, does it? I don't know why. Bishop takes, pawn takes.
On D4?
C3, of course.
C3, you're going to just take. Okay.
Just keep on taking. It claims that some disaster is happening. Now, maybe we're at D1. I don't know. I'm taking in D4 and I'm asking you what you're doing. And hoping, apparently I'm getting my head totally removed from my shoulders. I haven't seen why yet. Maybe knight D4, bishop G4, bishop G4, queen E4 is going to cause some major incident. Apparently not, for some reason. Sorry, but you know what, White... No, I think maybe...
Now I'm really confused.
Maybe knight E2 wins or knight B5 wins. I mean, I'm just sort of looking for things that might happen.
Yeah.
Without trying yet to firm them up and know what the hell.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
I mean, bishop E6. No, then there's bishop takes, not queen takes, but bishop takes. Wait a minute, what is the score at this point? No,
it's Black's piece up, so this has gone a bit wrong for White.
Yeah, this is mad. I've miscounted the lumps.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, but I mean, you never quite know what's going on. Obviously, if it tells me it's winning, then it probably is, but I don't know why. I mean, I'm not surprised there's a tactic. I just couldn't see what it was.
Yeah.
I have a feeling of when not being castled matters, and not being castled here might matter or might not.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Okay.
But yeah, Black is better. Basically.
Yeah. So this was kind of A4 instead of B takes C3.
But this B takes C3 seems illogical. If you're going to take on c3, you don't play a5 because it just takes a square away from your pieces.
That
I would
makes
have
sense.
thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what has actually occurred?
Bishop a6, d4.
I'm sure if I greatly like that, but okay. So take, and now knight e7. So the question is whether white can hold a line, really. If white can hold a line, white's going to be doing okay now. Perhaps take an a6 and play... There's a question, is knight d4 possible now? But it's a bit unlikely, I think. I mean, it's not completely impossible. I can't see why it isn't possible at the moment. But I mean, rook takes, just bishop b2 probably, or e5, yeah. Now, can I play bishop a6, knight d4, or does something very bad happen? It looks like it should do. So not recapturing an a6, but playing knight d4.
Oh, knight d4 now?
Yeah, because I'm there's a diagonal open.
Yeah.
Is this possible or not? Probably not, I'm guessing, but I haven't proven it yet.
Yeah.
So,
right. Let's try bishop b7.
Okay, well, I'm going to try knight takes knight, knight takes knight, bishop a1, takes, and hope that at the end of all this... But apparently I'm being killed for some... Well, no. It's a stupid engine, isn't it? Real pain, actually. Bishop a1.
Right, bishop a8.
Yeah. And a strong move, which might be e5, for instance. e5 looks like it might... Queen takes.
So queen takes bishop first.
Queen takes this, and now e5. Probably.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it, actually. I don't... I mean, because the bishop on a1 is a bit loose. I mean, I don't know. So, for instance, if pawn takes pawn, I'll play bishop a3, I think. And that's my idea, anyway. Maybe e4. Yeah, this looks pretty disastrous. Yeah, because you can't even play bishop d4, can you?
Just take it.
Just take it, and there's an incident. So, I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm just not.
Yeah. So Ricky B, he took back.
Of course.
And then Camilla played e5.
Which is a very reasonable move.
Yeah. Takes. And
really? Now?
Oh.
That is asking for trouble, isn't it?
See, I feel like that's asking for e6.
I feel it's asking for checkmate, madam, really. I mean, checkmate, sir, in this case. Sorry.
Yeah, I lose more often as black than white as well.
No,
you don't mind playing black, do you, John?
I don't mind playing black. No, it takes off the obligation for me to find any decent moves, which is always a problem, really, early on. So, I mean, that's a horrible move. I mean, I suppose it's logical in a sense, but I think you just castle, just suck it up for a bit and hope everything's...
See, Richard Britton used to play a lot of chess, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he's had a break. I think he had a bit of a break from it. But if I'm remembering right, I think he is playing in the upcoming seniors teams tournament.
Is he?
Yes, I think so. So
when's the next seniors teams?
It's coming very soon. I'm playing in it too. In about 2 weeks' time. In Dresden. Yeah.
I didn't even know. They probably stopped asking me now.
I'm sure I've mentioned it to you before.
Anyway, I mean, I don't really play in those things.
Yeah. They're fun, John. You should try.
I did try, yes.
Ah.
I went to a room.
And I remember I did, because, yes, I remember when you did. You went to, that was Germany as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I played 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
So is this the Europeans rather than the Worlds? Or?
Europeans, exactly. Because we already won the Worlds.
We have?
Yes.
Well done, them, yes. So now, right. I mean, it just looks as though something horrible is going to happen, doesn't it, this position?
Yes, I agree. I'd have to agree. But all right. But I would think e6. But
I don't really want to go e6 unless I can win, because knight to b6 to d5 would be some sort of sensible construction. Right. Maybe it's good, yeah, for some reason. Maybe something awful can be made to happen. Sort of e6, knight b6, queen e2, rook a8, queen b5, rook c8, d5, and wins a piece, actually. No, it doesn't, because if knight takes d5. So that doesn't quite work. I mean, I was thinking of playing queen e2.
That's what Camilla played. Yeah, queen e2.
Yeah.
Because it hits the rook as well as developing the queen.
It's going to stop black from castling for a moment as well, isn't it? Yeah. If rook b6, I can go knight c4 and possibly knight d6 check if I want to.
Mm.
Yeah, that's probably going to be quite fun, isn't it, actually? Having that many horses in the general vicinity of the patient. So rook b6, which I think is a mistake, knight c4, rook b8, say knight d6 check.
I thought you were trying for that one. Okay, takes.
Well, then takes an f6 check. No,
takes an f6, yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty foul, isn't it?
That's foul. So, okay, so then you have to go here.
Well, then I will play the subtle move knight g5.
Oh, you're going for it. Yeah, and if take... Okay, you have to take it, really, because otherwise knight e6 is going to be horrible.
You can't take it. You pin knight, yeah.
You can't take it, so then you're in real trouble.
Well, I think you're getting your head kicked in, actually. But, I mean,
because, look, if you go king g8, there's like queen c4.
Yeah, you have to try queen b6, probably. And I wanted to go queen c4, queen f7 check, and knight e6 check with a smothered mate. There's king g8, sadly. I mean, actually, yeah. So queen b6 gets played, and starts thinking about, is there some strong move? And one rather imagines there is, without too much evidence. Well, okay.
What about queen c4?
Queen c4, knight d8. And I think I just go knight e6 check then, actually. That's going to completely finish the game. Knight e6 check. No? There was knight e5, perhaps. There was knight takes twice and e5. That's why the engine jumped up and down and squeaked.
Oh, right. So here.
Yeah, that's really annoying, of course. That might be okay. What an annoying thing. Because I was just about to go knight e6 and to checkmate you up, have some arboricide or whatever. So queen c4 is a bad move. So let's go back for a minute instead of queen c4 and look for the completely crushing way to play.
Just take on f6.
Maybe. That probably is rather a good idea because we'll have queen e6 then, won't we? Yeah.
Yeah. And then what if they take on? Yeah, queen e6 is a threat.
I mean, I'm not quite landing, but I'm very close to it. I mean, it's not, this could still go wrong, actually, because white has many pieces on prise too, but probably there's some destructive way to cause mayhem. Yeah, I wasn't quite so sure about this. Bishop f6, queen up, knight d8. Actually, that is going to win, isn't it? Knight d8 would just take his knight.
Take on d7.
Yeah, because... yeah, well... Queen d4, I assume, is the only move that makes any sense at all. And then I was wondering what... how much pain we can inflict. So Queen D8 check doesn't particularly win. That's not what we want to do anyway. There is just knight.
You just swap it all off with Queen takes D8 and knight E6.
Yeah, but then Rook D6 at the end. We can go knight E6 check if we want to.
Knight E6 check. Knight takes, and then bishop H6, is it?
Well, no, Queen takes first, I think.
Queen takes first.
Oh, actually, bishop H6 might even be better. Yeah, you're right. No, then yeah, this is because Queen takes. There's Rook F6 check, which causes a certain amount of perturbation. Well,
yeah.
You can still go. Well, yeah, you lose your queen, don't you? I mean, it's just fun, you know.
All right, we're going to see what they actually played now. We're going to go Rook A8. He didn't go Rook B6.
That's a better move, obviously.
Yeah. Knight C4.
No, Knight C4 is a good move.
Rook C8.
Oh, no,
and Knight D6 check. She did it.
Good girl. Yeah, right. That's excellent. Right, that's probably going to be the end of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, because he played takes here, and Camilla played E takes F6 check.
Yeah, good.
King F8, and then she played Knight G5.
That's even stronger than taking it, isn't it? Probably. Or
yeah,
yeah, it is. And has he resigned, or has he?
He has resigned. 1-0.
Good. Well done, her.
Well
she's
done.
Quite dangerous, isn't she?
She's dangerous.
Quite a good hacker.
Dangerous. So she's on. I think she lost the game in the first round, but then she's on 4 out of 5. Wow.
Good. That's excellent.
Very good.
That's really nice to have people who are, you know. I mean, the first requirement of chess is to be able to go bish bash bosh, basically, isn't it?
She certainly went bish bash bosh.
You know, that's the first thing you have to be able to do before you learn anything else, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Shall we flip back to the other tournament? So if I go like that, that should actually do the trick. We were on that game, Shreyas. We've seen that. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got some results now. So Matthew Turner and Matthew Wadsworth, we were saying that was looking like it could turn into a boring game, and that did end a draw. And Twanberg, James Jackson was an exciting game, but it is a draw. So let's look at the two that are still left.
Right.
So this one we did start looking at this game, which was the opposite side castling.
That knight on F5 is a monster, isn't it?
So we got to at least here, didn't we?
Yeah.
A4, Knight G5 we saw, Queen D8, H4, Bishop E6 and G5.
Very reasonable move, yeah.
King H8, Bishop E2, connecting the rooks, F5.
Sort of desperate but necessary, yeah.
Takes on passant, G takes. And then white puts his queen on that diagonal.
Okay.
Knight E5.
It's a slight problem you can't play F4, you know. I'm not sure Queen C3 was right. I mean, the engine didn't like, but I'm thinking, you know, how can I... Anyway, it's a very nice position for white. So did he take at some point?
Yeah, bishop takes D5 now.
Okay.
C takes, Rook G8. Knight F5, that's a nice square for that knight.
That's an enormous square, yes.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Beauty like smart, you know. Eye of the beholder. So it's smart like beauty, either way.
Yeah.
Now.
Takes. And Rook G8, and this is where they're at.
All right. So were we to go the crude take F4, would that cause a major incident?
Let's see if there's incidents happening after takes F4. So takes there.
F4.
F4.
Basically completely winning, isn't it?
So, okay, so if, say black drops back, Knight G6.
Well, I'm going to play H5, aren't
H5.
I? Click here. We're going to drop back somewhere else.
Drop back somewhere else. So F8.
Okay, now.
Oh, we've got a mate coming in. No, not.
I don't mate immediately, no. But I can maybe go. One thing I can possibly do is to go Queen G1 check, so that after King H8, H6, Knight G6, I've got Bishop F5, because that's one thing I was thinking of.
Bishop H5.
Yeah, but maybe he can defend himself here. Knight E4 I can take. Oh, it doesn't like it, actually.
Doesn't like it.
I don't know why. So, oh no! Oh, you can go Knight F4. Sorry, because Queen G7 doesn't work. Oh dear, that's ridiculous. Sorry. Let's go back and play some more.
Let's go back. So we were F4, and I was saying, what about Knight G6?
Yeah, because you can't go to F7 because of Queen G1 check. So presumably H6. No,
that's fine. Knight F1. So then it's just to work out.
Now it's a question of finding the best move. Maybe. Not obvious to me what the best move is at all. So at the moment, does Black actually have any moves? It's a question, isn't it? So say I played Queen D4. Where would you go? I suppose King F7 is the only move I can see that makes any sense at all. This is not absolutely over, is it, or is it?
I'm feeling like, oh, I was going to say.
I don't want to play H6 because then I give him a square.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Queen G1 now. Is that gonna no?
Well, what about Bishop G4 so we can uncover?
Yeah, well then Queen E8 I thought.
Queen E8
was at least a little bit annoying. I mean, of course, it's very good. You can get Knight G3 and Bishop F5 or something. I was thinking Queen G1 because I thought I was going to have some slight unpleasantnesses in certain circumstances. If Knight E4, I go Queen checks and Bishop B5, and I think you resign. I can't see why you don't resign.
C6?
Yeah, pawn takes pawn. Oh, sorry, then queen takes queen.
Yeah, or queen takes queen, yeah.
Queen takes knight doesn't work, but queen takes queen does work, does it? Pawn takes pawn check, king d8. So I'm getting overexcited, aren't I? So yeah. Actually, after knight e4, I should go bishop b5 first. And no, but if I go bishop b5 first, there's queen takes knight. So actually, this is more difficult than I thought. Let's go back. Because obviously I don't need to do anything particularly clever at all.
Yeah. So what about bishop g4 then?
Well, then queen e8.
Bishop. Yeah.
I think probably just knight g3 and bishop f5 and carry on playing. It's going to be very, very unpleasant to just go.
All right. Yeah.
But you know, he's got queen b5 or something. He can fight. It doesn't feel.
Yeah, it's not quite.
I should be knocking.
Done more.
I should be knocking his head off here, and I can't see how. I really should. I mean, the engine clearly sees something completely winning. Yeah.
Yeah. What about knight h6?
Yeah, and knight g4, yeah?
And then something g4, yeah.
So if the knight h6, you must go king g7, yeah, to have any squares. Knight g4. No, it's not that clear, is it?
Well, okay, well, what about bishop g4?
Oh, that's a clever move. But queen e8.
Queen e8. Oh, sorry, bishop g4.
Maybe queen b5 as well. I wish this bloody.
Oh, it still doesn't. It's confused.
Yeah. So what are we missing? We're missing something up. Let's go back because the engine is saying ping, absolutely winning. 'Cause 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 the engine is saying ping, absolutely winning. Of course, the knight isn't on prise at the moment, is it?
Not exactly.
So maybe bishop g4, as you said, of queen e8, bishop f5. Is that possible? Yeah, probably. No, because queen e8, bishop f5, there's queen takes h5. It's not that easy, is it? I mean, I don't find I'm not finding that easy anyway. It's telling me that I'm completely winning, and I don't know why.
Well, what about knight g4?
Well, queen e7. Or can I then go e5? Can I then break it? Yeah, perhaps I can break with e5 now. That probably will do, won't it? Yeah.
Okay, that's probably it then.
That probably is it, I think. Not so easy, though, I think.
No.
Well, I wasn't finding it easy anyway. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit dopey, but I mean, it doesn't seem to me that.
Okay, and so this is still the live position. So king g8, I think, is where they're at.
Yeah. So you'd want to play f4, wouldn't you? But unless you think you can do something cleverer. I mean, you can go queen g1 check, maybe, first. I guess he goes to... I suppose then f3 is loose. It's not... I mean, it's just not quite there. The other thing you could maybe do, could you play h5 first to stop the knight going back to that circuit?
Oh, right.
Because it seems to be quite annoying on that circuit to me. On f8.
Yeah, so it could now go f7, I suppose, because then it's got.
Well, then we have queen g1 and f. Or do we? Knight f7 will play f4.
Yeah.
I hope. But maybe you can go queen e8 then, and if I start giving checks.
Queen e8. We still go f4, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
I was going f4, knight f7, queen checks, knight g5, and hoping I could make that work. I didn't really believe it, but I mean,
queen check. Oh, I see.
No, to g1's better, so knight e4 isn't check. So knight g5 is forced. And now I think maybe just pawn takes knight actually is rather an unsporting way to play the position.
Queen takes pawn check.
King a1.
We just move the king. And then queen has a choice of pieces to take, but it's probably going to take the knight.
Well, then pawn takes pawn with check is mate in 3, isn't it?
Uh-huh. So then gets mated.
That was the idea.
So if it takes the bishop, but it still gets mated, isn't it?
It does. So I thought maybe king f7 in the position we just had. Yeah, this is still mate, yes.
So king f1 here.
So I thought maybe this move, but I mean, I don't believe it for a minced morsel of untime. Partly because...
Yeah, but what is a piece up now? And
well, also g6.
Mating as well.
Well, g6 check just wins completely.
Yeah. Okie doke.
Is that true? I suppose you've got... You can go to f8 to e8, can you, and annoy white? Seems unlikely.
I don't know about that, because... so what, like f8? King f8?
Well, pawn takes pawn. You have to go pawn takes pawn.
Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn.
Well, I was going to go queen takes and try to mate him, but oh no, queen takes king back. Queen takes is mate. Sorry.
Oh.
I mean, this may well work, but queen takes king f8. I play queen f6, which I'd missed. I'd just only seen queen g7, and queen to there. I think is going to be mated a few more moves.
Well, look, like we're a piece up, got a passed h pawn and mating attack, so we're going to win.
But he's threatening queen h1 check.
Oh. Not going to let him do that, though.
No, we're not going to let him. It's true. We might go king e8 check and queen f5 check, and that would be enough. That would do.
Yeah.
Actually, king e8, there's also Bishop b5 check is not a bad move. Knight d6 check wins. Actually, that's the best way to do it.
Knight d6 check.
Yeah.
And then bishop b5.
Queen e6 check at the end.
Yeah.
That will do.
All right, that's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
So it is good for white, but it's quite messy. I mean, the engine can see the moves, and we can't see all of them.
Yeah.
At least I can't. Sorry.
All right. So we've got a couple more moves in here. So they went f4. So they didn't do. Our last line we were looking at was h5, wasn't it? We did f4, knight g6, and h5
has been played.
Has been played.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to just see if because there was one more game going on. Let's just check in again on Marcus against Jonah. Oh yeah, this was this. So Jonah was doing this early pawn push on the king's side, and we got up to about here. So queen h6, and we thought we quite liked this for white, didn't we?
We thought it was unclear, but I mean, they're pretty good for white, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Queen e7, bishop e2, a5, and Marcus castle long.
Yeah.
Which engine didn't like that much, to be honest.
No. How's he got an f for f3?
Oh, you wanted f3?
How did he do this? Did it want to? No, maybe.
No.
No. How has he got an f for f3, I said?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you. Castles, knight b4, king b1, and then f4.
That's horrible, isn't it? He's messed this up quite badly. Because if takes, there's e3 and there's bishop f5 or something. He's probably tired.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Did he go d5?
No, he went rook d2.
I mean, d5 looks like what you should do to
open the diagonal. Yeah, that could make sense, couldn't it? Because now that knight can't block.
Well, the positions you go f3 and
then f3, yeah.
Then you're just going to have to see if you could.
You'd take it, wouldn't you?
Well, then he takes and the bishop's going to f5. That's the problem. And if bishop f1, probably you take and play rook f2, and somehow white hasn't got an attack and black has. It's all a bit.
Yeah, Jonah's done this well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. It's really quite vexing. I mean, actually, sorry, I'll show you a line. Bishop f1. Pawn takes pawn. Bishop takes pawn. Rook takes f2. I want to try queen g5 check now. But there's going to be bishop f5 at the end. That's a shame. Takes. And now maybe you can even take and go g6, bishop f5.
Take on g2.
Yeah. But g6, bishop f5 is, now g6 is really strong. I mean, that's what I saw. But you play bishop f5 first as black, and that stops the attack. This is really dangerous. I mean, you're winning these. But bishop f5 is winning for black, because then you keep the h file closed.
Yeah. Gosh.
So just
that's been a turnaround. So.
Yeah, but I mean, it's it's a position where if something happens on the diagonal, then all hell can break loose from either side. So rook d2's happened on f3. Presumably he's going to go bishop f1, is he, or something?
Bishop d1, he went.
Bishop d1, okay. D5 has to be at least partially a threat.
D5,
so he's blocked
yeah.
it. Very sensible.
Black blocks and takes.
Yeah.
That's a funny position, isn't it?
It's a very odd position, yeah.
Because like it's black's pawns coming down the king's side, whereas it's black's king there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, the bishop in c3 is either a monster or dead, depending on what happens.
I suppose then he better recapture with the knight and just leave that knight there.
And bishop b3, you just go bishop b6 or something. And
yeah.
You do not allow the diagonal to open, I can tell you that. I think actually that's doing quite well now.
So, yeah, can you defend with the pawn now? So say here, here. What about c6?
You can do. Well, white had better play takes in g3 or g3 and just try to hold, hadn't he? I don't know. You don't need to take, probably, but I mean, yeah. You have to play g3 at some moment in the game. This is clearly better for black, I would think. Well, there is a b6 square for the queen to hide on, I suppose.
Oh, right. Wait a minute. I think we have Shreyas. Hello, Shreyas.
Hello.
Hello. Big congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Can you just tell us, because we what we think happens is but at August you were England's youngest FIDE master, and then in September you made 2 norms, and then today is your 3rd norm. Is that correct? Can you talk us through your international master journey?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, so actually, so I got actually the FIDE master title in August last year, and ever since it's not been that easy. But recently, since around July, I've had a good string of events, and actually from July I played in the Dortmund Sparkers in A Open, where I actually did very well. I had a performance of 24.92, but unfortunately I didn't get the norm because I needed 5 title opponents, and I got I think 4, so that's a bit annoying. But
so you got the performance, but it just wasn't the norm.
Yeah, I needed 5 title points. I got 4.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And then I had 2 more good tournaments, which got me over 2400. And in my last 3 tournaments, I actually managed to achieve a norm. 2 of them in England, which feels.
Because I think I was commentating on you played one in the Mind Sports Centre, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yes, very good. Yeah, and then the second one.
Second one was in Slovenia. It was a few weeks ago, actually. Yeah.
Oh wow! You must be really excited. All that happening so quickly.
Yeah.
How old are you now, Shreyas?
I'm 13. I will be 14
years old, an international master. Is it all confirmed? They need to do some kind of confirming thing to.
I've got the certificate. I've got all 3 certificates. I don't know in the international master title whether they have some rules some certain tournaments you need to play, because I played already. I got a norm already in 1 open tournament, so that shouldn't be a problem. But
I don't think it's a problem at all. I mean, the only thing is the Titles Commission has to confirm it when they meet.
Yeah.
And I think England have to put in
We have to do the paperwork.
Request.
Yeah,
but that's all.
Yes. Can we? I'm going to just flick into your game, I think, Shreyas. Can we have a little look at your game today?
Yeah, sure.
Lovely. Okay. Right. So here we go. That should be it now. It's a bit of a miniature. 24 moves. We did have a look. Okay. So, do you want to just say when there are things you want to comment on?
Yeah, my opponent played a lot of openings. He played Granfeld, Slav, Queen's Indian, whatnot. So he played some sort of strange version of a Queen's Gambit accepted.
So you didn't know what to expect really from him because he played.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
And it kind of transposed into some sort of Queen's Gambit declined.
Yeah.
Well, this is just a normal Queen's Gambit accepted.
Sorry, not declined. Sorry.
No, sorry. Of course, yeah. Now, whether you play a6 or c5 first, I don't know what they do nowadays, but I mean, I think this is just a normal. This is the position from when I was a little, yonks ago. Knight bd7. Were you pleased, displeased? Didn't mind.
No, not really. I mean, I was just kind of hoping he would transpose into one of the main lines.
Something you knew, yeah.
yeah, and I think he did. But I think on move 10, b takes a4 is not such a great move, but there's like some specific way to be better for white here, which I could not remember.
Yeah, because he's going to have to give up. If he doesn't do something, he's going to have to give up the c4 square, isn't he?
Yeah. That's. I mean, otherwise black, I think he's got very good counterplay with those strong pawns. But you have to kind of poke him into
after b4, there is a c3 square as well, isn't there, for his horse?
Yeah. I don't think he can make much of it, though.
I'll have a look, actually. Let me. I'll do this on blah blah blah. On Lee Chess, I'll do this.
Okay.
So I can look up some openings.
All right, we'll keep going while you do that.
Yeah, you do that.
Okay, and rook takes. And John, you were thinking, you were expecting rook takes or pawn takes?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Rook takes, yes.
So
this was the bit. So we were thinking
b4 is played more often, yeah.
Okay, b4 black normally plays.
I mean, there are games like Aroni and Caruana, which were drawn, and Dominguez won as black. So I think b4 is the move you should play as black.
Yes.
You think a4 is a bit submissive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he might have known that, but I was blitzing out all the moves, so he wanted me to...
You're probably scaring him then.
Yeah.
Castles.
And
95. So John wanted queen a1 here.
Yeah. I was also trying to make it work. I think the queen a1, knight b6, rook a5, c takes d4. I think bishop takes d4, and I for some reason I just didn't really bishop b4. Yeah, bishop b4 for him.
Oh, that's really annoying, isn't it? I didn't see that. Yeah.
Which one? Bishop b4.
No, bishop b4. Yeah.
Bishop b4 is a good.
Bishop b4.
Yeah, and then I was thinking like rook g5, but then he just goes back d7. So
okay, so let's carry on. Rook g5.
Yeah, then he just goes back d7, and I did not see anything.
Yeah. Because you need a win this game, don't you? So that's,
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Well, let's have a look. I mean, you might have a move, mightn't you, on a good day? I mean, your pieces are. You certainly take an aim.
Yeah.
The question whether you can fire. I don't know if you can go 95 now and somehow do something bad. I mean, it's not clear to me at all.
Yeah, I mean, I did not find anything direct, and if I didn't find anything direct, then I thought my rook is going to be a bit misplaced.
Yeah,
I'm not sure at all. I think I'm really not sure. Go to 95. What's he playing? 98, or is he trying to defend that way?
Yeah, I mean, he also has maybe h6 or something.
Well, h6, rook g3. Is your rook so bad? I mean, you sort of take it again.
Yeah, I mean,
it may just not be your style, Shreyas. So if you don't like doing stuff like that, then you should do what you like rather than.
Yeah, I mean, I just basically trusted my instinct here. I didn't really see anything quick.
Fine, yeah, no, I mean, it's just because I'm a hacker at heart. I like to take aim and fire, but that doesn't mean that because I think you're threatening probably knight g4 at that moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened? So you played. I thought taking on d4, you're going to take the rook, were you?
Yes. So
I thought you could probably almost equalize by taking on d4, but I mean, he did almost equalize anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. 95. My idea is pretty much kind of make use of his weak light squares with bishop f3.
Of course, yeah. So you played knight d6.
Yeah, I thought that was normal. Rook a1.
Yeah. And then you take in d4 and go back again. I thought he could probably swap the other pieces and be slightly worse because of the a6 square and the c6 square. But as I said, I also wondered if he could have taken in d4 after knight e5 and after rook takes, as long as he can untangle, nothing is
Yeah.
really going to happen.
Yeah, and we were looking at taking on d4 here as well, weren't we?
Yeah, but I mean here bishop takes, knight back, bishop f3 is a little bit maybe a little bit worrying. But I think if he does it the other way, takes rook takes queen c7, unless something awful happens to him immediately, he's going to be okay.
Yeah. So he played knight fd5. His idea actually is, I don't know how good his idea is, but I was assuming it's probably c takes d4, bishop takes d4, f6, and e5, and something like that.
If he can do that, that's going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah. So, bishop f3. My idea was after f6, just bring my e knight back to c4, and he's in a bit of a tangle. With some tactical weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a problem on b7, isn't there? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he played rook b8.
Yeah. So
which is quite pleasing. It's always nice when they put their pieces in knight forks, even if you can't do it yet, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's pretty much protecting the bishop now. So he's probably threatening c takes in f6. So rook c1. My idea is once again to cause some problems on the c6 square. And I guess I caused enough pressure for him to make a really stupid blunder. He actually just blundered.
Yeah. We were actually looking at a different game at the time, and the chat was saying something funny has happened in Shreyas's game.
Yeah, I think all the players are just really tired.
You must be shattered.
Yeah, I mean we're just missing really simple things.
But actually, this wasn't that simple. Because we looked at it. We then came onto this game, and we looked at it. And even though it looks like you're just winning a piece, it wasn't that easy because rook d8.
Well, you had to find rook c4, didn't you?
Yeah, rook c4.
Yeah, that's key move.
Have you seen it from a long way back? We were struggling to find it at all, I have to say.
Yeah, I had actually, but then I had a little think here because I had 9-minute think here. I don't know why I think.
Because any other move is not good for you, is it? I mean, else, you have an accident on the D line.
Yeah, there was maybe another option, but it's not as good as rook c4. I was thinking of knight b4, rook takes d4, knight c2, bishop takes f3,
we can go bishop f3 then if you want to and play that.
And then g takes f3, and that's not as good.
Not very pretty.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, this was much better. Here we go, rook c4.
Well,
then we started feeling, like, oh yeah, this is clear now.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much clean from now on. So I think he was just expecting probably knight f3 that I would play, and then he would play knight b2. And so the point of knight f4 is that I have queen g4, and I also
you have knight f6 check, by the way.
Yeah, and also I've made, so there's so many threats.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just kind of collapsed at the end because in all the games he was playing. But he had quite a few quick draws, but he never really made any simple mistakes in any of his games.
Well, people do get tired.
Yeah.
You're young and strong, and that's great.
Even I'm very tired. I was just glad it's over.
Yeah. So what have you got planned next, Shreyas?
I don't know. I'm playing the 4 NCL on 22nd and 23rd.
Okay, that's next weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing for Wood Green Youth.
Yes. You're a Wood Green player, aren't you, John?
Yeah, I don't know. We're playing them in the first round.
Oh, yeah. So Wood Green Youth. It's Wood Green.
Yeah, there's lots of Wood Green players that are... Because, Marcus is your teammate then?
There's actually like 5 Wood Green players. Because funny thing, Matthew Wadsworth, I think he also joined.
Yeah, but the teams can't commingle this year, I think.
Yeah, not this year.
We're only allowed... There are 2 different teams.
Yes, I hate to make it a quick end, but unfortunately I have a train really soon.
No, you go for it.
You go, and actually I'm going to...
Very
well done.
Absolutely thrilled you've got your IM title. Big congratulations. And good luck with your next chess. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
Bye.
Okay, I don't know what board he's on. The Sprogs.
Brilliant.
Well, that's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done to Shreyas, and great that we were able to chat with him then.
Well, he has a very, very sensible attitude to the game, doesn't he? He sees lots of good stuff and, just talks like a chess player, which he is. I'm going to have to go, actually, I'm afraid, because I've got my lesson. And so it's been a pleasure today.
I think I will wrap up as well, actually, just because we've got Shreyas finish on a high with Shreyas getting his norm. I think nobody's going for a norm right now on the remaining games, but good luck to all the players. Do we know who's won the tournament? So Twanberg drew. I'm gonna you go, John. I'm gonna just check in on the Marcus Harvey game.
I'll just have a glance at that before we go.
Yeah. So here we go.
Queen H5 played. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look at all fun to me.
Yeah. So if Marcus draws, this is equal first in the tournament. So that looks like it could be possible. If he wins the tournament, and if he loses, he's second.
He has to decide in this position whether he takes in G2 or not. I mean, that's the question.
Takes on... Oh, sorry. The actual position is this.
After Queen H5, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, taking on G2... I'm really not sure. I mean, because you have pressure against F2, but you've got a weak G pawn, which I suppose he'll try to set the exchange for. So... Anyway, it should be at least equal for black, this position. Jonah has a good position at the moment. But of course, anything can happen. I mean, it's a middle game, isn't it, still?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that'll be fun for people to watch. I think that's quite an interesting game. And it's been a pleasure doing this. And I'm going to poddle off then, I think.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to wrap up as well. So thank you all. What I need to say is a big thank you to all the sponsors, which includes the Chess Trust, the ECF, and the Friends of Chess. And of course, thank you to the organisers. It's really wonderful. You can see, how lovely it is when players have the opportunity to achieve their norms, and they have actually achieved their norms. A fantastic result for Shreyas today. And as he was saying himself, his IM norms have come from 2 of these tournaments in the last 2 months, held in England to give opportunities to the young English players. So big thank you to all the organisers and all the people that made this happen. And thanks for everyone in the chat. Thanks for all your comments, much appreciated. And thanks everyone very much for watching.